we have a lot to get into. Right before I go live, I see Joe Rogan is doing Peter Thiel's work. I'll play that audio for you. Joe Rogan, you know him as the marionette for the tech oligarchy. Uh, he has a very podcast. I don't know what other descriptor to put in there. I don't know what adjective could describe Joe Rogan's podcast besides uh, propagandish. Is that a very propaganda podcast? Have a very propaganda podcast. I think that's what Joe Rogan's saying is. I think at the beginning it says propaganda all day and Joe Rogan propaganda all night. I think that's how the podcast begins. I've never taken the time to listen closely, I should say. But Joe Rogan is out here stoking fears, doing the good dark savior Stephen Miller's work, and all the tech oligarchs. I got some news about Elon Musk. He says giving money away, as in philanthropy, is sad. I never thought I'd hear a trillionaire say it's sad to give money away. He couldn't even give all that money away. We're going to check in with Donald Trump. Still doesn't know if he's going to sign that housing bill. So if you were getting excited to buy a home, too bad. Too bad. He's letting all his corporate friends buy that house. What else? Ooh. You know what? I was gonna start with something else, but I have to start with this because seriously, oh, and David Portnoy. Shit. That should have been my thing. That should have been my thumbnail. Davey Portnoy running, saying, "Run, Davey, run." Oh, can I redo all this? Can I redo this? How's everybody doing? Sardion smoking, R units, little Oreo. Everybody, good to see everybody. I want to do a retake. I got to do the thumbnail again. On Dave Portnoy running, because he said he's going to run against Mamdani. We're going to get into all of this. But first, before I play some Joe Rogan for you. You know him as the rabid podcaster, just salivating to put out whatever he feels is the truth. He doesn't care we have the internet. Does not care about any kind of reality. It's just his little bubble in Austin and what he believes to be true. Before that, do you know Michael Knowles? What's up, Mendo dog? How are you? It's hot. It is hot. Listen, if you don't know Michael Knowles... Oh, hold on. Let's check in with the Great American State Fair. Oh, shit. Looks like there's still tickets available. Guys, if you want to go, I would say you could probably get a discount. Probably get a Groupon. Let's see, behind the stair. Oh, yeah, it looks like there's plenty of availability. If you're heading down to the Great American MAGA State Fair, where everything's brought to you by the Trump Organization, and they're collecting all the money on it. Looks like there's still a lot of room, so I would say take your time. I would say no need to rush. You'll be fine. Looking good, sir. Looking good. Absolutely looking good. Oh, he's looking good too. Look at that. Everybody's looking so good. This right here is Michael Knowles. And if you don't know Michael Knowles, the only reason I'm playing this audio, this is like 20-second audio, but I have to play it for you. Because if you've ever seen the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, and Michael Knowles, I think they're the heavy hitters. Is Matt Walsh, I think he's one of the heavy hitters. These are just the titans of the Daily Wire. And he was debating a 10-year-old, give or take a year or so. Michael Knowles was debating a 10-year-old on stage at the Great American Cookout, or whatever they're calling it. Bobby Flay's Great American MAGA Barbecue. I don't know what they're calling this. Is this setting the scene for Ratatouille 2? I have no idea what the fuck is going on at the Capitol. There's nobody there, and apparently you can still get tickets to watch Michael Knowles of the Daily Wire debate a 10-year-old on the Salem witch trials. Now, I need to play this audio for you because if you thought this frumpy liar knows anything, this guy, I'm sure, doesn't even know his ass from his elbow, as us 90s kids heard quite often. You don't know your ass from your elbow. Yeah, you do. You're going to catch an elbow. You keep talking to me like that. We'll see which one I don't know. But Michael Knowles, seen here, you can't see my toothpick, seen here debating a little child, Michael Knowles from the Daily Wire, said his only problem with the witch trials was about burning people, burning the witches. Now listen, I've lived around this great country in many different places. I've been around the world, I ain't find my baby. But at no point in our dark history did we ever burn any witches. I know when I lived in California, I debated people on what was considered New England, even though I grew up here. And they were like, no, I'm pretty sure New York is in New England. I'm like, I'm pretty sure the fucking education system failed you. So I understand that there are stupid people everywhere. I get it, you know, or maybe just things didn't stick in school, or maybe you're just overconfident, or maybe you just don't want to admit that you don't know simple shit. But this is one of the rare exceptions of a guy who, you know, claims to be knowledgeable on the internet, goes up to debate a child and completely embarrasses himself. Now, I just wish there were any children from the Salem area here to debate him, to just be like, oh, and you thought during the Salem witch trials they were burning witches? Okay. Sounded good, buddy. Looking fresh with your sunglasses on and your three-piece suit. I'm going to play this audio, and listen, if you're, what's up, Raygun, Eggy, One Vision? Oh, look, Aaron Maga's back. Good to see you, Maga. Viking, what's up? Viking makes some bad life choices. Marco Rubio, he says, my Christ, man. What's up, Tia? Good to see you. Now, listen, I got to play this audio for you. This is the Daily Wire being more of an embarrassment than losing all their followers and their money after fucking Candace Owens left, you know? But just listen to what Michael Knowles thinks happened at the Salem witch trials.
But the one area where the Salem witch trials went a little far is, I would say, they weren't organized enough. So you had these like random judges, you know, kind of burning these ladies.
You had these random judges kind of burning these ladies. Not true. Just make believe. That is Michael Knowles right there from the Daily Wire. If you get any of your information from the Daily Wire, stop combing your hair with the comb and start doing it with a tack hammer. You're going to get smarter. Okay? I cannot fucking believe that Ben Shapiro has an established, I hate to call it news, but an established website where he spreads this disinformation. You know it's funded by the Welk brothers, or the Wilk brothers. They're oil fracking billionaires from Texas. So this isn't like organic. Like he didn't build his audience up. He sped talk into the money from the oil fucking big oil bros. But Michael Knowles, you could simply fucking type into Google Salem witch trials, and within the first few lines, you'll find out easily. Nobody was burned at the stake, buddy. In fact, as a lover of history and somebody who on my channel, you can see I go to the burial areas, and I have gone to many of these fucking memorials for the people who were executed innocently. They were hung. But more importantly, they weren't burned, and it wasn't an unorganized mess, Michael. There's, was it Reverend Hale in Modest Inquiry into Witchcraft? there are books that you can read on this, and they're very insightful. The big issue at the time, Michael, let me just rewind your thing, because I know you're playing smart for a 10-year-old girl right here, but you're fucking stupid, and I can't believe this gets pawned off in front of crowds. It's like, wow, listen to that educated guy. You say they weren't organized, they were bad at people.
But the one area where the Salem witch trials went a little far is, I would say, they weren't organized enough. So you had these like random judges, you know, kind of burning these ladies. I don't know if they were guilty or not, but I think more, if it were more formalized, built up a little bit more, maybe with like a grand inquisitor or something.
A grand inquisitor? What are you talking about? Harry Potter? Shut your fucking mouth. You understand what the witch trials were, right? If you don't know, here in Salem, Mass, fucking where I live, where fucking I understand the history, nobody was burned, number one. Number two, the whole fucking big issue was that they were taking, I forget what the evidence was called, fucking some kind of random evidence where dreams and fucking visions could be taken into court. Number three, there was no court at the time. So what they were doing is they were taking different reverends and pastors and people of the fucking cloth to judge these trials. There was no organization, there was no systemic justice system in the 16 fucking hundreds. I can't believe these people pawn themselves off as fucking smart, and America's like, oh yeah, look at that guy debate that 10-year-old. Like this, you understand, this is the next echelon of Charlie Kirking. The Change My Mind crowd, they went from let's go to college campuses and debate freshmen to let's bring a 10-year-old on stage, make up some wild shit about the Salem witch trials, pray this kid doesn't know anything about it, and just come off and pawn myself off as smart. It's fucking ludicrous. What was the hold on. I forget what they called it. Salem witch trial evidence. What was it called? Spectral evidence. Thank you. Spectral evidence. That was the big fucking no at the time. And if you don't understand what I mean, spectral evidence, it's imagine going to court and being like, I had a dream that they were dancing with the devil. And the court was a fucking pastor. And the pastor was like, it sounds pretty legit to me. Hang them. And that's what went on. Okay? So that was like one of the big no-nos of the time. There was no evidence submitted besides spectral evidence, in case you don't know, and it's very important. This is easily accessible. This is not crazy information. So for Michael Knowles to wildly say, and by the way, and that's my other really common fucking knowledge, that we weren't burnt. Yes, in England, they were burning witches. Here in America,
witch trials went a little far, is, I would say, they weren't organized enough. So you had these like random judges, you know, kind of burning these ladies.
And they didn't burn anyone. Nobody was burned in the Salem witch trials. In fact, you can go to Gallows Hill. I have a video on my channel where I went to Gallows Hill, and you can see the area, the location where they had the hanging tree. And part of being executed as a witch at the time was you were just left there to hang as kind of a warning to others. And a lot of people had to go in the dark of night and cut their family members down and give them a proper Christian burial. And if you ever do come to Salem, you will understand that these people were innocent and kept their innocence until they were unjustly murked by no justice system, no police, by other people of the faith and their community. And if you read further into the Salem witch trials, it ended because they were locking so many people up that the hysteria just kind of was like, okay, we're gonna just put everyone in jail. It's a fascinating part of American history or colonial history. And I implore everyone to just know the bare basics of it, because if you're going to go to this absolutely wild fucking state fair and listen to the Daily Wire tell you that during the Salem witch trials, his biggest issue was there were random judges. There were no judges. They were fucking reverends who were just assigned the duty of judge. They were well organized, locking up many members of the community. There's deeper things when you talk to the historians around here, which I have. They figured it was a division between churches. There was Salem Village and then Salem proper. But I'm not going to get into all that, because just the ludicrous fucking pawning himself off as a smart person. Michael Knowles saying, my biggest problem was these random judges burning ladies. Nobody, no, and I challenge you. I usually don't tell people to get off my live stream, but I challenge you. If you don't believe me and you think the Daily Wire isn't just making shit up by saying the Salem witch trials burned women, just go Google it. You can do it right now, then come right back and go, oh, God damn, he was right. Oh my God. I will unsubscribe to, what do they have? Chiquita Banana Plus or what is that Bluey knockoff show? I don't know what the Daily Wire is trying to sell people, but they were hung. Nobody was burned in Salem. My Christ, if you're gonna fucking put an American flag in front of you, at least know the goddamn history, Michael. Michael Knowles. Confirmed. Moron. I feel like I should have some kind of thing. Hit subscribe and notification bell. We gotta get this thing. Bluey goated? Bluey is goated. Bluey is the greatest. What is the knockoff that the Daily Wire does? What's this called? Bluey knockoff. I think they just let this fail. Chip Chilla. Okay, Ben. All right, that was your little foray into kids' television. Now I want to play something very based for you. Well-behaved women never make history, 100%. Where is... Oh, here. Now, you know this dude, Grinder Mike Johnson. Grinder Mike. Remember yesterday I was telling you guys all these little gnomes, the Hegseths, the RFKs, the Trumps. Let's check in on Trump. Looking good, sir. Looking good. Oh my God, what is going on with that hair? We gotta dabble that up. Put some fucking gel in that, man. Come on. All right, I gotta play this for you because the DSA released the sickest. This thing is so sick. This is one of the greatest ads for the Democratic Socialists of America. It really couldn't be any better. And I want you to pay close attention to what Grinder Mike Johnson is saying. And this is why I highly encourage you to reach out to your local DSA chapter, because if they could scare the pants, well, he's probably not wearing pants, but if they could scare Grinder Mike Johnson like this, if they can scare Donald Trump, if you hear these people start barking out the trigger words, communist, you know these people are terrifying them. And if they're terrified, their counterparts, the Democrats, are terrified. So listen to this ad. This is so good.
The DSA, the Democrat Socialists of America. Okay, here's just a sample of what they're about.
Ready? Here's a sample of what they're about. Tell me if you don't like this.
Abolish the Electoral College, replace the two-party system with a multi-party democracy, implement proportional representation and ranked choice voting in all elections, establish public ownership of the largest corporations, and
Oh, you heard me say that quite often. Make the Wi-Fi nationalized, nationalize the airlines, nationalize the electric grid, nationalize all of the energy grid. Why are people profiting off of things that we need as necessities?
essential industries to ensure democratic control.
Oh, democratic control. Isn't that what everybody likes to bark about?
And accountability to the people. End all military and economic aid to Israel. It sounds so...
Yo, this is the fucking sickest ad ever. This makes me want to join the Democratic Socialists. I think I'm a little farther left than they are, but it really, like, this ad did the job. This ad, it's just more music. I mean, there's nothing left. It's just so sick. It's just Mike Johnson saying, like, oh my God, could you imagine if they did ranked choice voting and they nationalized the airlines so they couldn't charge you bag fees for no reason while one guy's making trillions of profit and doing stock buybacks? He's like, he's doing an ad for an amazing America. This is what Republicans don't want you to have. They don't want you to have any affordability. They don't want you to own a home. They don't want you to be able to choose who. Oh, and by the way, the Supreme Court just like took off any limits that people could spend on their political fucking political puppets. I don't know what we should call them anymore, but things aren't good with this much money in it. So why not let's change things up, you know? I want to play this one more time because this is so dope. Go find this ad. TikTok, R.A. Philly.
The DSA, the Democrat Socialists of America? Okay, here's just a sample of what they're about. Abolish the Electoral College, replace the two-party system with a multi-party democracy. Implement proportional representation.
Implement proportional representation. I love how he says that like it's a bad thing. Like, they want everybody to be represented fairly? Are you kidding? Do you know all the work we've done with the big SAVE Act to try and get women off the voter rolls? Do you understand how much gerrymandering we've tried to accomplish in getting black people and marginalized groups out of the way? And they're going to undo all that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what he's saying. This is what the fuck he's saying. Listen to this man. He's admitting everything he says right here is what the Republicans and the Democrats don't want for you, don't want for this country. They don't want equal representation. They don't want you to have a say. They don't want their friends, their donors, their bribery cohorts. They don't want the people who bribe them to be fucking, not have the influence that they do have. They love, that kind of influence. It makes their lives very comfortable. They don't worry about losing health care. Just so you know, Grinder Mike Johnson does not care if you got kicked off fucking Medicaid. He don't care. He don't care if you're Medicare, you're Medicaid. He don't care about your fucking co-pays, about your deductibles. He's got people who bribe him.
The DSA, the Democrat Socialists of America? Okay, here's just a sample of what they're about. Abolish the Electoral College.
Hurrah! Yes, let's abolish the Electoral College, please.
Replace the two-party system with...
Yes, get rid of the two-party system. It's really one-party system, just with two different colors.
A multi-party democracy.
A multi-party, imagine that. Imagine not having the Super Bowl every 4 years and people be saying again and again, I just gotta vote for the lesser of two evils. Imagine if there was a fucking wide swath of people that could run, not just the two that billions have been poured into, wasted, and then when they get elected, those billions are repaid back triple and quadruple fold because they're the ones that got those people there, not the votes. Imagine that.
Implement proportional representation.
Proportional representation? What? Could you imagine?
And ranked choice voting.
Ranked choice voting is fucking awesome. What is wrong with... I wish he would say what's wrong with all of these.
In all elections. Establish public ownership of the largest corporations and...
You understand, public ownership of the largest corporations will only benefit us. So instead of them working to increase their stock, meet Wall Street's expectations, to have certain shareholders, not you, okay? Jesus, Wall Street better. Reddit made everyone think that they were like the fucking Wolf of Wall Street, which you don't even realize. Jordan Belfort is a fucking dingleberry. That guy ripped off penny stockholders. He stole from the most vulnerable people. He didn't do anything on Wall Street. He just robbed people who weren't as fucking cunning as him, and he took advantage of the most vulnerable. Jordan Belfort's a douchebag. But these Wall Street bettors, they all think there's some kind of Jordan Belfort. They're like, I made $1,000. Shut your fucking mouth. You understand that they're moving the markets without you knowing? You're just part of the tide, friend. But the thing is like, why? Why would we not want to nationalize things that are necessities? Railroads, any kind of transit at this point, the highways, the fucking byways, all that stuff's nationalized. Why wouldn't we want to get the airlines? We could get all of that greed out of the airlines. We could have people paid well, trained well. We could have people fucking not having to pay what I don't even know. What is it, a couple $100 to bring a bag on? And you're not getting any extra benefits. If anything, the planes have gotten shittier and they don't even tighten all the bolts. Go look at the Boeing stories. We would benefit from taking that over. We would. Like the post office. The post office isn't trying to churn a profit and, just get money out of you because you got to get, a card to grandma every year. That ain't it, man. They're trying to make it affordable. They're trying to do it as a service, a public service. This is incredible that this guy says this shit like it's bad. I'm guessing he's talking to a room filled with his donors, bribers.
Essential industries to ensure democratic control and accountability to the people.
Notice how he says democratic control and accountability to the people. Like that's a bad thing, Mike? Like that's a bad thing. I would assume he was democratically elected, but at this point, the way he's saying it, I can't even assume that. Because he's like, democratic control, public accountability. You want those things in your politics? I don't think so. We're here to dictate, tell people what they're gonna do.
End all military and economic aid to Israel sounds so.
Yo, that is my favorite fucking ad. All right, let's get to Joe Rogan. I gotta find a picture of him. Do I still have Mr. Joe with his nips? I want to see Mr. Joe. Oh, wait a minute. Did you guys see this story? Mexican Batman? Anybody seen this story? I don't know why I didn't lead with this. I forgot. Joe, you're going to the back burner. This is cool shit. I don't hear Joe Rogan talking about this. Maybe because he only works 1 day a week. Lazy. Right? Where's all my MAGA? Tell Joe Rogan, get a real job. Right? Lazy. Working 1 day a week, going on his yacht. Come on, man. Joe. You do a podcast. You can't do it a few days a week? Please. A vigilante in Jalisco leaves people bound to poles with ratero, Spanish for robber, scrawled on their foreheads. Yo, this is one of my favorite stories of the day today. Because there's not much good to look forward to here in America unless you're a fan of, grifting the American public. But goddamn, this is pretty incredible. Some dude is acting like a Mexican I don't know why they call him Mexican Batman. He could just be Batman, Batman went to, Asia in The Dark Knight. They didn't call him Asian Batman. I guess because Batman was from here. I don't know. Anyways, he is tying people up or duct taping people and putting the motorcycles or bicycles that they're stealing in front of him. And he's scrawling messages on them. Which, goddamn, this is cool. This is pretty cool. Imagine, having your motorcycle stolen and rolling up and be like, oh, what's this message say? Oh, you stole that, you dirty douche? All right. And he's doing it to a lot of people, man. I left a whole sign behind this dude. Oh, my God. Mexican Batman, I love you. I wonder if he's got the outfit and everything. Look at this dude. You won't steal a bike again, will you? I don't know who's gonna come and cut you down. Just leave you there for a little bit. This is crazy. So I don't know if you've seen this story, but goddamn. I had to bring that news. Had to bring you that news. And I don't know if Mexican Batman is taking these pictures, Where is Gotham City? I always imagine if you've seen the movies, it's New York and Chicago. I think that's where they filmed a lot of it. I can't imagine Mexican Batman took these pictures, right? That had to be a reporter or somebody. That'd be funny if Mexican Batman was also taking pictures. I don't think he did that in the comics, but who knows? So yeah, I just wanted to show you this news story. We'll get into some other news, but good on this guy, taking it into his own hands, man. You only wish you would see this with the Epstein files, You'd see people duct taped to palm trees saying, I'm not even going to say what they should write on them. But you know what I mean? You only hope that Mexican Batman makes his way up to the States, crosses that border, jumps that big wall that they built or didn't build. Nobody knows. It's over anyways, right? We're on to bigger and better. Now they're trying to enslave us all. But you can only hope. Mexican Batman, if you're out there, please come to America and get all the Epstein criminals. Please, we're pleading with you. All right, I gotta find my Joe Rogan so we can listen to this real quick because I want to get to some Elon Musk stuff. Elon Musk. Oh my God, he's the worst. Where is my Joe Rowe? Joe Rowe. I guess I'll just use this one. Actually, I really want to find the where's his nipple one? Do I not have the nipple one? Here it is. I got it. There's Joe Rogan. You see him lactating. You see Joe Rogan lactating. All right, here's Joe Rogan Breaking it down, I have it sped up a little bit because this is a long ass diatribe by this man.
Because you're supposed to be able to practice any religion you want. You're supposed to be able to be a Buddhist. The beautiful thing.
Hold on. I want you to hear closely what Joe Rogan says on his podcast.
The beautiful thing about America is you're supposed to be able to practice any religion you want. You're supposed to be able to be a Buddhist. You're supposed to be able to be a Baptist. No one should care.
That is so funny coming from Joe Rogan, who endorsed this regime, right? The Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth regime of white nationalism. So much so that Pete Hegseth's, what's his new Christian nationalist pastor, Douglas Wilson. I played this for you a while ago because there was a whole segment with this dude where he was like, yeah, man, America should be a Christian nation. And Pete Hegseth moved this dude, Douglas Wilson, into DC to convert more MAGA conservatives into this whole Christian nationalism thing. And it's hilarious that Joe Rogan will say stuff like, oh, this nation's supposed to be one where, like, you know, you can worship any faith. Separation of state and religion, man. The state can't tell you what to worship. There is no God-ordained stateship religion. This is a place where freedom of worship, freedom of religion is allegedly respected. But Joe, can you honestly say that after after getting Donald Trump elected? Come on, Joe. Who have they targeted? You know, people of different faiths? What have they insinuated? That this is only a Christian nation? And the funniest part is once you start thinking about that, you realize that everything this regime has done has been on the basis of courting their fucking crazy Christian supporters. I mean, you see it in the churches, you see Donald Trump holding the Bibles upside down, and you see it in the way they try to legislate. What is abortion about? Nothing other than they believe it's part of their religion. It's not about women's rights, it's not about freedoms, it's not about health, it's not about anything besides their religion. And that is just one baseline fucking legislation thing that the Republicans have often fought for. It's so crazy to hear Joe Rogan try to seriously pawn this off, like, you know, like Joe thinks this was a nation where you're free to worship how you'd like. Like, Joe, just because yours isn't in the crosshairs right now, whatever he is a Buddhist or an AI Jesus believer, I don't know, you see that? I think his whole, what if Jesus was AI? I think that's just because he invested in an AI company, so he's trying to convince those Christian psychos to, I don't know, fund his AI or use it. I don't know. It's always a grift with these people. But seriously, Joe, you understand that in this day and age, in the year of our Lord, 2026, and Donald Trump don't believe that. J.D. Vance don't believe that. All of them are talking about, you know, we need to do the will of God. Pete Hegseth called this war a crusade. You know, there's certain language that they're using for a reason because they're courting the nuts.
And we should all be able to get along. It should be a true melting pot.
Really, Joe? You're saying that after electing Donald Trump, where we should all be able to get along. The guy who can't get along with a fucking comb. You understand me? Do I need to show you? Look. Looking great, sir. Looking great.
But there's other organizations that have different plans, and their plans are to take over cities. There's plans that are to take over cities and change the laws. And we were talking about with Tim Dillon what happened with Dearborn, Michigan. All these like liberal people are like, yeah, we love Muslims, everyone's amazing. So they got a Muslim mayor, and the first thing he did is like, no more pride flags. Shit's illegal. Because what he would like is Sharia law. Like,
this is the funniest thing ever, when all these Republican or politically homeless Republicans like to pawn off that, you know, that's what they're doing, man. They're taking over and they're just trying to implement Sharia law. Number one, does he not understand that dudes are trying to put up the 10 Commandments everywhere while ignoring the 10 Commandments? You know, the adultery, the murder, all that stuff. Like, does he not understand that the Republicans are doing white guy Sharia? Al-Qaeda? He is literally missing the point that there is not going on what he's talking about, and there is in real time people talking about, I mean, Stephen Miller, I just addressed it yesterday. He doesn't want anybody who's not white and worships Baal. I don't know what he celebrates. I really don't know Stephen Miller's religion, and I'm not going to look into it. Let's just say Stephen Miller doesn't want anyone who looks like his wife but isn't his wife in this country, if that makes sense. Just go look at what his wife looks like. My God, Joe, you can't be serious. Well, we got white guy Sharia law happening in real time. You're trying to tell me that, it's really these immigrants that are taking over. Like, you know why he's doing this? Because the DSA is filled with people that don't look like Joe. This is part of the communist fear mongering. The immigrants, the minorities are going to take over, and it's just hilarious if you understand what's actually happening in America.
If you ask the majority of practicing Muslims, like worldwide, how many of them would like Sharia law? And it's not a small amount.
Oh, Joe, have you taken a gov.u poll of the majority of Muslims? Like, this is the Ben Shapiro line of thinking. He's like, let's just say we asked all the Muslims if they want Sharia law. I don't know, man. There's a lot of Muslims I know that, consider themselves Muslims and aren't practicing Muslims. And I would say there's even a wider swath of people that think they believe in Jesus, and then you just are like, you do? What do you think? It's just about buying the merch? Do you think believing in Jesus is like just buying the cross and having a Bible at your house? Is that what you think? Is that what you think it is? Oh, my God.
That's their religion. That's what. But the problem with that is, like, you can't push that on other people. If you want.
Did Joe just say you can't push your religion on other people? Hello, Pot.
Want to have your mosque and you want to pray 5 times a day, wonderful. You should be able to do that 100%. Everyone should appreciate the fact that there's all sorts of different ways of worshiping God. It's great. I don't know who's right. But as soon as a culture starts taking over and putting in values that, first of all,
degrade women.
Yeah, grossly deteriorate women's rights.
Okay. I'm not going to give you my thoughts on Sharia law, but I think it is hilarious that, the people who are saying grossly, what did he say? Grossly deteriorate women?
First of all,
degrade women.
Yeah,
grossly degrade women. We're living in a country where the basis of the abortion argument is God made it start at birth. Like, God deemed it one cell, right? It's a God argument. And in that, it totally degrades women's control over their own body. And it is strictly a religious argument. And for Joe to not address the religious argument in the room and go with the hypothetical one should really lend to the fact that he's not a very serious boy. He's not growing either. You see him? With all those actual tall people behind him. Well, I wouldn't call them tall. Those people are probably like 5'8", 5'9". But Joe, man, how are you saying like, hey, man, these people want Sharia law and you can't do religious law on people when your country is doing religious law on people? In fact, one of the executive orders Donald Trump signed said, like, if you're anti-American, you don't have American or Christian values, you're considered a terrorist. Like, Joe, stop being a fucking puppet for these tech oligarchs. At this point, he's just mimicking the Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, and we're going to get to Elon Musk, rhetoric. Like, hardcore, unchecked. Because if you're sitting in a room with Joe Rogan and he starts saying, you can't impose your religious ways on people, wouldn't you be like, dude, what do you think half of this country's fucking laws are? In Massachusetts, we had blue laws. You know what a blue law is? You can't buy alcohol on Sunday because it's the Lord Day. And it wasn't even the Lord's Day. Jesus was Jewish. His day was a Saturday, man. They got it wrong. But that's like a real thing. It's a religious law. It's fucking nuts. And Joe's like, hey, man, someday in the future, they might try to do religion on us. It's like, Joe, they're doing it right now. You're just Bog Maga or whatever the fuck you worship, dude. Like, it just isn't in the sights right now. You're under the radar.
Grossly deteriorate women's rights. Grossly.
That's bad. That's when it falls apart.
Well, and that's their culture. And you have to understand that
What is American culture if not grossly degrading women's rights? Joe, there are people saying women shouldn't have the right to vote right now. Joe, the Save America Act is about kicking women off voter rolls if their name doesn't match their birth certificate. Joe, you're not this stupid. You're just a paid fucking fed at this point.
They've accepted when they're wearing those traditional head garbs and body coverings, that's their culture. And they want women to dress like that. And, we have to stop that from spreading. Like, you should be able to do it if you want to, but the idea that you can take over a town or take over a city, that's a flaw.
What city in America does every woman have to wear a hijab? Seriously. These people are so dumb. These people are so fucking stupid. America refused to wear masks, okay? There was a goddamn pandemic, and America was like, we're not wearing masks. Joe, where are they wearing face coverings in America? Like, this is the most ludicrous shit. How does he keep finding these guests to come on and just yes him to death on this stuff? These people are like, yeah, man, that's crazy. In American towns, they're making women cover their faces. Dude, they couldn't even cover their faces during a fucking sickness that had a 9/11 style fucking death happen every day. 9/11 style death count. Every single day, Joe. Every single day. And there were people being like, I'm not wearing a mask. There were people having hissy fits at Target throwing masks on the ground. That's a real thing, too. And Joe's trying to convince, I don't know who's watching this shit anymore. Very, very scared people, that your freedoms aren't being eroded right now, folks. But hypothetically in the future, they're going to make all the women wear fucking head garb. I'm sure the Republicans would love that. I'm sure the Republicans at some point, after they take voting rights and bodily autonomy away from the woman, they're going to make them cover up and not be able to leave the house without a male guardian. Like, Joe, you understand the Christian nationalists are just the white fucking Sharia law guys.
On our system, because every city should have the same sort of national rights. Every city should have the rights that we have, where you can wear whatever you want to wear, practice whatever religion you want.
I love that Joe Rogan's saying this, because I'm pretty sure that, like, if you went to Utah or something, it doesn't matter what the fucking law says. There are Mormons that will tell you to put on your special MeUndies, and that's what you have to wear to bed. Like, I'm pretty sure. I love how Joe's doing this. Joe, you have so much money. Do you not own a book? Does Joe? This is why I need the internet nationalized, because I don't think Joe Rogan has the internet. Either that or it keeps tricking him.
Want to practice, and you shouldn't be persecuted one way or the other.
Yeah.
Really, one way or the other, Joe. One way or the other.
But when you get a country like England that just lets them in, mass migration, and then you're ignoring the chaos that comes with it, that's not good. And that makes you wonder, like, are they wanting the society to deteriorate to the point where they can say, hey, we're going to make new laws to protect you?
I would say, Joe, they're doing that, but they're not doing it with mass immigration. They're doing it with, stripping us of our health care, allowing corporations to purchase homes instead of people, turning everything into a rental market, basically gatekeeping you from everything you need to survive, keeping everything privatized and too expensive while our wages stay stagnant. That would collapse a society, Joe, when people can't afford to live. Stupidest saying ever. One of the stupidest guys ever. And now, here is Joe Rogan's very macho man, Donald Trump. Looking good, sir, I must say. Look at that. Oof, look at that. Mouth like a butthole. Look at him. Who combed your hair today, It wasn't Melania. Man, somebody needs to put a comb through that just a few more times. I see a lot of balding patches, right there, right there. Come on, man. We got to look snappy. Here's Donald Trump talking about the housing bill, which, why would Joe Rogan bring that up? That's not important. Joe probably has a bunch of houses.
We signed that housing bill.
I have not, it hasn't been sent to me yet. It's coming, I understand, and then I'll make
it. Was. There was a whole, this is what I mean. It's like, I guess I'm just going to call this show, There's a Bunch of Liars, and Do You Believe Them? Like, I'm just going to have to call this show like, all right, let's just say they're all lying, and can you really believe this shit? Because they had a signing ceremony. Donald Trump went to the signing ceremony and called it off. People were interviewed on TV because they went to the signing ceremony for this bipartisan, which Donald Trump thinks it means the Democrats like it. No, that means everybody got along, Donald, and they all agreed this would be for the benefit of the people you're supposed to be serving. You're a public servant. I know you forget that. But when Donald Trump tells you they haven't sent it to him, maybe it's just the late stage dementia. Maybe it's just he wasn't smart to begin with. But this is truly remarkable because whether or not he forgot or he's lying, they had a whole signing ceremony for Donald Trump to sign the housing bill. Absolutely hilarious.
It hasn't been sent to me yet.
Nah, it wasn't sent to me yet. That whole signing ceremony, actually FedEx didn't deliver it.
It's coming, I understand, and then I'll make a difference. Here's what I would like to say. Much more than a bill, that big deal.
Big deal? Dude, it gets private equity away from fucking people's houses. Let me just ask you, do you know any corporation, any private equity, any venture capitalist that buy many, many homes in neighborhoods and then go and live in them all? Oh, you don't? Do you know families that are renting because they can't afford to buy? Oh, you do? So this would be just a major issue in America?
It's a yawn.
It's a yawn. You know what's a yawn? Your makeup today, sir. Looking good, though. Looking good. Not as orange as I usually like, you know, that burnt sienna fucking... Looks like you put an orange in the microwave.
Some people say it's wonderful. To me, compared to the Save America Act,
Which, you already know what that does. He's trying to get women off the voter rolls.
just about everything is a big yawn.
Everything's a big yawn. This dude said, I don't think about people's financial situation. Affordability is a hoax. The housing bill's a big yawn. What is it going to take for you to understand? Like, this dude doesn't give a shit if you die. He truly doesn't. This guy does not give a rip. In fact, he's banking on it, you know? He's like, listen, if that's how we get them off the voter rolls, strip their health care. Looking good, sir. You're looking so swell. Always in the same outfit. Always. Always in the same outfit. Oh, and by the way, hold on. We're going to play some Stephen Miller first. Oh, Christ. Are you ready for this? Name one Christian who's been persecuted. Jesus! Nobody was going to answer that, right? Well, Paul, John. Who was crucified upside down? Was it Peter? Quite a few, but if you're talking about here's my Stephen Miller. Oh, sorry, I should have told you. Jump scare. Jump scare. I'm sorry. Many more during the Roman reign. That is true, JR. And there was this great... Charlie Kelly's here. What's up? Jesus was Jewish, I know. But when he was persecuted, he became Christian. What Christian in America? None of them. Wait. Peter was upside down. Thank you. I thought it was Peter. I was trying to remember. JR, during the Roman reign, there was this great documentary where these people were up in, I forget if it was the northern UK, Scotland, or Ireland. I forget, because I don't know how far the Roman reign went up, but it went up pretty far. They couldn't conquer the Celts. But they had these ancient ruins of these Roman outposts, and they were documenting that they had Christian petrographs, or I don't know what you call it, carved into the stone. And the whole documentary was basically about how the Romans adopted Christianity to keep control over the people. It wasn't because they believed in it. They just saw Christianity or believing in Jesus spreading like wildfire, and they figured they needed to, kind of keep those masses in control. And when they adopted it as the formal religion, which you get Roman Catholics from, that was a way to subdue the masses. Fascinating documentary, and I wholeheartedly believe in that. Because look at Catholicism. It's basically a Roman reign structure, you know. They get the Pope at the top, who calls all the shots, and then they got his lieutenants and his generals with them funny hats, which I think they call cardinals. And that's all it is. That's all. I was raised in Catholicism. Don't understand it, especially if you have ever read what Jesus said, that you don't need an intermediary, you don't need an intercessor, you don't need a pope. And I think that's all the structural thing is. That's why me and the Pope got some issues. Sell your home, Pope, give it to the poor, like Jesus said to the rich man. All right, enough of the Jesus talk. Thank you, dear Lord, for another day. I'm breathing, man. May you find me worthy. All right, let me get back to the chat. Rome never left, 100%. I agree, Rob. Oh, cool. That's cool. I like that you see that too. Because it bugs me, and I think a lot of Roman Catholics don't see it, or they've been integrated so hard that they don't acknowledge it. Pretty culty there, Rob. Why, thank you. What's up, Stephelson? Good to see you, man. All right, this is Stephen Miller. He's a very scary vampire. Gotta sprinkle him with some colloidal silver. Or is that for, that's for werewolves, pretty sure. But this is what Stephen Miller's been barking about. These people are very scared. And it's interesting to watch people who have absolute power. Like, there's no checks and balances. There's nothing going on right now. The Democrats are, like, sitting back, and they're like, what do you want us to do? You know? To watch these people like a fish flopping, talk about, oh, my God. Like, yesterday, I played Mike Johnson saying, like, man, they're going to put everybody in prison. They're going to lock everybody up. Steve Bannon said the same thing. They're going to put everybody in prison, including me. Now we got Stephen Miller's turn to say what's going to happen.
You've covered more than anybody. When the Democrats, should the Democrats regain power?
Please don't. Let the Democratic Socialists regain power. Let them restructure this country. But no more Democrats. The Democrats are fucking your team, dude. They're just not as far extreme as you have been, where you're like, anybody who doesn't look like me needs to leave this country. Remember, Stephen Miller, I played for you yesterday. This motherfucker wants to deport 233 million Americans. Out of the 350 that are in this country, he wants over 2/3 gone.
It's game over. 12 more justices on SCOTUS, 2 new Democrat states. They're going to
2 new Democrat states. This is so funny to listen to the fear mongering, the panic bolstering that Stephen Miller's doing. He's like, dude, Democrats win. There's going to be 400 justices. They're going to take 2 new Democratic states. It's like, what are you talking about, man? Are we going to turn Venezuela and fucking Greenland into Democratic states? What are you talking about, bro? Are they going to give DC and Puerto Rico the ability to vote? What are you talking? Like, this is the funniest fear-mongering shit. And you understand the other side to this is like, man, we don't want more Democratic states. That's crazy. What?
get rid of the Second Amendment. They're going to get rid
The Second Amendment? Come on, man. The Democrats ain't doing shit. You think, oh my God. Has he not been in America for a while? Have you not seen all the school pew-pews that have gone on and Democrats haven't done goddamn dick?
rid of our borders. They're going to get rid of our...
Rid of our borders? I'm pretty sure Donald Trump tried to get rid of our borders when he tried to integrate Canada as the 51st state.
Police are going to get rid of ICE.
They're going to get rid of the police and ICE? Oh, no complaints. I don't think the Democrats are going to do that. I'm pretty sure they help fund ICE.
Border Patrol, DHS, and they're going to elect communists.
Oh, no, they're going to elect communists because it's totally legal to be a communist in America. If you don't know that, it's illegal for you to be a communist in America. You can look that up. Get educated so when you hear this stuff, you're like, oh, he's just panic attacking on Fox News right now in front of a crowd. I don't know if you could call that a crowd. In front of about 14 people behind him.
Actual communists, Laura, not even socialist communists, will wreck this country.
Now, the communists are coming. The communists are coming. Guys, you understand that, number one, there's no communist party in America. You can't be. It is illegal. That's not a joke. It is illegal to be a communist in America. And that's not like some new executive order, although I'm sure Donald Trump's working on it, but there is no Communist Party in America. But it is so funny. When you hear people that have absolute power, this dude is deporting American veterans. He's got kids locked up in fucking prison labor camps. He has had absolute reign. When you hear him saying nothing besides like, dude, they're gonna elect communists. Like, what does that say? What is the messaging here? Seriously, think about that. He's not like, dude, do you not love the fair that's behind? Have you not seen? Dude, are you not enjoying the great American awakening? Like, look at all this space for you to stretch out. You know, why didn't Stephen Miller be like, dude, the Democrats won't do this shit. Democrats aren't going to do this. They have like Hemp Fest. You know? What do you want? Mushroom Fest? Is that what you hippies want? God damn. You know? They're going to have Justin Bieber's pastor giving away free dunks in the dunk tank. And then you come up and he goes, ha-ha, baptized. I'm assuming that's what's happening at this thing. I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. I'm sure there's a rattlesnake holding fucking tent, you know. I'm sure they got the Baptists there. They're like, hey, everybody pick up a rattlesnake. Prove you're worthy to God, you know. Well, they have no medical tent probably. You know, the medical tent has a very high deductible. But why isn't Stephen Miller like boasting about all the things he's done? Why is it all, you know, they're going to add 400 Supreme Court justices. They're going to take over a bunch of states and make them Democrats. And they're going to, you know, get rid of the police and take your Second Amendment away. It's like, dude, the Democrats have only this is why the Democrats are just Republican-like, because they've gone along with everything the Republicans want. They've funded ICE. They've funded the police. They fucking, you know, don't make any moves on the Second Amendment, especially after those things happen here in America, which are uniquely American. And his whole plea for keeping him in power is like, they're going to elect communists, which you can't do in America. Who believes this? Is there somebody here that believes this? Is there somebody here that believes any of this? I just need to know. Hold on. Looking good, sir. Looking so handsome. You can't even tell it's a comb over. Seriously. If you ever wonder what Dennis the Menace would look like at 80, here you go. You know, you are looking fantastic. A little light on the foundation today, but still looking good. Looking good. You know, he'd bang you. He'd jump your bones. He'd put a little sugar in your tank. He'd make your life light in the loafers, buddy. He would do it. He would do it. Oh, yeah. Watch out. Stephen Miller. Please get a new byline, you know. Please, like, go to Grok AI and be like, Grok AI, what is fear-mongering for Republicans? Please give me new words besides communism. It's fucking hilarious. These people, they're using the same old tricks on stupid dogs. All right, now have you ever seen the movie Coneheads with Dan Aykroyd? If you haven't, it's a movie. I'm not gonna say it's great, but you know, it came from a Saturday Night Live bit. If you're old enough, and here is not a conehead. I know it looks like this guy is a conehead. I know you're thinking that. There is no reboot. Dan Aykroyd is not rewriting Coneheads. It's not coming back to Saturday Night Live. This is a real human. Do you remember what those are? Or is AI got your brain? This is a human named Mark Andreessen. He's been on Joe Rogan's podcast to claim about debanking and that the banks aren't fair to the very rich people who would like to do white-collar crimes, who do not get in trouble for those crimes. So you know him as trying to propagandize, you know, the common folk, the peasants of the very wealthies, the landlords. He's trying to convince you of, like, our problems are different. The banks are so mean when we try to do the laundering. You know, like, that's his whole plea. And Joe Roganites are like, yes, he should be able to do whatever he wants. But if you haven't heard, this is not a conehead. Again, I implore you, this is not a reboot of the Coneheads. That's the real shape of his head. Which, can AI not fix that for you, buddy? Is there no Turkey, like, skull shaving that you could do? Can you not go to Turkey and just be like, I just want a few inches taken off the top so I'm not so pointy. Like, you know, at this point, brother, your head is fully erect. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. Andreessen Horowitz, co-founder and general partner, Mark Andreessen. You recognize his pointy-ass cone head from the Joe Rogan show. And I want to play this audio of him saying Chat GPT. Oh, sorry, what does he call it? Dr. Chat GPT is better than a doctor. Now, some of you might be too young to remember, like, the birth of the internet. And then with the birth came all these websites. And I think, is WebMD still a thing, or did AI consume it and take it out back and Christy gnome it? I don't know if WebMD still exists, but there was a time in the mid 2000s where, like, you would get the sniffles and people would go right to WebMD and be like, you either have an allergy to air pollen or you're dying of cancer. And you'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then there was a lot of backlash from the doctors who would have to see these people that were using WebMD. And the doctor would be like, it's this, you know, you're probably fine. Just, you know, go home and rest. And they'd be like, no, I WebMD'd it and I'm pretty sure I have this and I need this medication. And doctors were just exhausted, you know. And if you don't remember that time, just imagine WebMD on steroids, because that's what AI is. You know, AI hallucinates, totally isn't right, can't take your vitals yet or look at you. It doesn't have that bedside manner. It doesn't have that Dr. Je ne sais quoi, where, you know, they can see you and they can relate to being human. This is Mark Andreessen's dream of the future. And I would just say, Mark, just like Elon Musk, if you believe in going to Mars and Neuralink, put a chip in your brain and go the fuck to Mars. If you truly believe in that's like where civilization is going. And Mark, I would just say, stop promoting it to the people and have Dr. Chat GPT take care of you for the next year and document it. You can afford it. Have a film crew and be like, I've given up my healthcare wing of my house. I've sent all my bedside doctors home. I'm no longer getting injections upside down of young Mexican men's peptides, and I'm strictly seeing Dr. Chat GPT. If you really want to convince people, just do that, right? If you believe in it so much. Let's listen to what the fuck this dude's saying. This is unreal. And I'm sure Joe Rogan will have him on, and they will both be heralding Dr. Chat GPT as, you know, just the life-saving resource of an encyclopedic web knowledge that it is.
At the policy.
And nothing can go wrong.
Questions, which is there are going to be policy efforts to kind of prevent AI medicine from happening or robotic medicine from happening, but the capabilities for sure are going to exist. I mean, Dr. ChatGPT is a better doctor than 99% of doctors. Like, people like hate, you know, I don't know, doctors hate.
That's correct. He just said Dr. ChatGPT, which, like, what is that, like a mode? Do you have to go to ChatGPT and then go into like doctor mode? Like, is this kind of like that lady who used ChatGPT as a lawyer and then found herself in a lot of trouble? Is this kind of like that? Is this, you know, tested out? Has this had, what do they call, peer reviews done on it? Dr. ChatGPT is better than 99% of the doctors. Mark Conehead Andreessen, do you only see Dr. ChatGPT? Is that how trustable it is? When you're getting your upside down injections from young Venezuelan of peptides, is that who's intravenously sticking you with the peptide needle, buddy? Is that how your head grew so much? You know what I mean? Why don't you sue Dr. ChatGPT for that? I cannot believe he just said it's better than 99% of the doctors. I will say it could be an important resource or tool for doctors. I agree with that wholeheartedly. You know, doctors spend a lot of time studying. And if you ever had a bad one, you'd wonder what they were studying. But it is so vital that it is a tool and not a replacement. Hold on one second. All right, let's get back at it. Sunny side up. Oh man, egghead. Doctors are just a scam nowadays. It's got an O at the end. DOCTOR. But do you really believe, like, that's a heavy state? Doctors are just a scam nowadays. I would say insurance is just a scam nowadays. Doctor He's like, those doctors, they're always just trying to give you stuff. Always trying to pump you with the fentanyl. What do you mean doctors are just a scam? Interesting comment. Thank you for it. Appreciate it. Evil Easter egg. Oh my God. Did he play the Easter egg at the White House this year? I don't know. All right, let's keep listening to Mark Andreessen, who you know is not using Dr. ChatGPT. This is the funniest thing about all this. When these tech oligarchs from Bezos to Musk to Peter Thiel, they're like, dude, the future is AI. And you're like, what future though? And they're like, oh, we're all gonna be rich and healthcare is gonna be free and lawyers and like you're gonna have so much food to eat. And you're like, when does that shit kick in? Because right now everyone's losing their job. The data center surveillance places are turning our water brown. It's jacked up our electric rates fucking triple. Like, when does this kick in? Not to mention that you guys are openly and proudly bragging about how you're investing in AI and not people. So like, what point does that flip and you're like, hey man, we're going to give you guys huge severance packages so you guys can be taken care of for years because we're a quadrillion-dollar company and we're going to invest in AI? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just use your eyes, look around and see what's actually happening and go, well, so when do the benefits kick in? Are you guys just going to change your mind at some point and be like, oh, we should figure out a different way than polluting the Earth's only source of water? It's just like this dude. He's like, Dr. ChatGPT, which I'm heavily invested in, is probably better than 100% of doctors out there. And that's why I still have a medical wing at my house. You know he has a medical wing at his house. That's a get. I'm fucking editorializing here, but all of these rich people have a wing where doctors just wait for them to have a sneeze or a sniffle, and then they're like, all right, flip upside down. We're gonna inject you with something. Blobfish. Oh my God, he kind of does look like a blobfish. Nonlinear progression. What's up? Microplastics cause brain inflammation, and it's why people are madder at each other than before. That's what microplastics are for and why they're in everything. Plus, they're delicious. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. They're tasteless. That's why you gotta salt all your fish.
When you say, but like it is, it just is, it really is. We have all these new companies. We have this company, breaking one of our companies, Open Evidence.
See, I didn't even remember. I just was so stunned at him saying Dr. ChatGPT is better than 99% of doctors. I forgot that he says, oh yeah, I got this new company, Open Evidence. So this is all it is. He's plugging shit for investors and for you to use it. And, you know, he doesn't care if you die. There's no, like, legal ramifications. It's just like that lady who used ChatGPT as a lawyer and got fucked. You know, like, dude, if you use Dr. ChatGPT and then start, you know, shoving, I don't know, ivermectin up your butt like Joe Rogan and you just die, like, your family can't sue Dr. ChatGPT. Like, there's no medical malpractice. This guy will turn around, fucking create a shell company, divest all the investments, and then be like, hey man, you signed agree. You clicked the agree button. You didn't realize you clicked your life away when you used Dr. ChatGPT. And how are you going to sue it? It's virtual, you know? Like, that's what we need precedent with. We need precedent with these people fucking being accountable for the bullshit they're hawking to you. Or just use it yourself. Mark Conehead Andreessen, I want to see a documentary of you using Dr. ChatGPT for a year. And I want to see how fucking healthy you are after.
It's actually the AI medical service that a lot of the doctors use.
Oh, the doctors are using it. Like I said, it's a great tool. It's a great reference thing. But it would be nice when ChatGPT hallucinates for a medical professional to be like, well, that doesn't make any sense. We're not going to give him, we're not going to shove that ivermectin up his butt because he got a snake bite. I think this thing's hallucinating, you know?
It's sweeping the medical field, and it's great, by the way. As a patient, you really want this because you want your doctor to have state of the art AI, right, supporting all of their, But
state of the art AI, which they don't want regulated by the state.
Right. By the way, if only to just have all of the information at their fingertips, right, to just like really understand, because no human doctor could possibly read all the medical literature and keep up with it every year.
Yeah, because no human doctor is a doctor of everything, you moron. He's like, there's no possible way a doctor could just know it all, could he? AI does. It's like, yeah, have you never heard of a specialist? Have you never had to get a referral to go see a specialist? Oh, no, that's right, you're rich. Oh, that's right, you're rich. So you have no idea what the healthcare system is like. Oh, so when you see your primary care doctor and they're like, oh, this is not my field, and they send you to go see somebody else, you have to get a referral, which AI, through the insurance companies, now has to like make sure you're worthy of it. And most of the time you're not. Like I showed you that guy who showed the letter of the denial letter from the insurance company to test for his wife's cancer, and he said, my wife died of cancer 6 months ago and I just got this letter. That's a real American story. Yeah, Mark, keep going.
So even just to be able to know like what the latest results are, I mean, give you an example, just drug interactions, like
why are all these guys so like anxiety ridden? Like drug interactions. Yeah, because most doctors don't know that shit, right? That's a very unique one.
Drug conflicts. People when people get sick, they don't, over time, especially older people, they don't tend to get sick with just one issue. They tend to have like 3, 5, 7, 10 different things going on, and then they get 3, 7, 10 different kinds of medication that they're supposed to take, and then there are drug interactions, and it's quite complicated. But I think just the fact that Dr. ChatGPT is just so good out of your pocket, I think it's going to kind of force the issue.
Yeah, that's what we're going to rely on. We're going to rely on old people who have all these complications to not see a doctor and to type into Dr. ChatGPT all the drugs they're taking. We're going to rely on... Okay, so what you're saying, Mark, is when people get really old and really sick, all they need to do is use Dr. ChatGPT, which is very simple for very old folks who are sick. He's a solution man, folks. Brilliant. I don't think I want to get to these next news stories because Dave Portnoy is an actual fucking hemorrhoid on America. God. I don't know if you know who Barstool Sports president is. I'm sure he was duly elected and not just a rich kid from fucking Swampscott who spent his parents' money to go eat pizza around the country while degrading women and, siphon off the Alphaverse, his own little... I don't even know what this dude looks like. Let me show you a picture. All right, say goodbye to Conehead. Here we go. Like, fuck, man. Why are all these people turning orange? Can I use Dr. ChatGPT to be like, what is going on with this bad tan on this man? I can't even do that yet. We're going to play a different thing. We're going to play a different Jessica Waters interview for you. Hold on. Here we go. This is why they want to do all the communism scare words, because they don't want you to know that we used to tax people so we could have a middle class and like functioning society, like, things in our community. We worked really hard to get to the point where we weren't like, hey, just throw old people, disabled people into like a asylum. I don't know. We worked pretty hard to get here, and now they're like, wait a minute, you want kids and old people to not starve with Meals on Wheels and get free food at school? You want 5-year-olds not to go into debt? And I can't try to be a trillionaire? It's like the hypotheticals are raging here. Like, dude, no one's turning into a trillionaire. Most of you ain't gonna be billionaires, and fucking calm down. We're talking about taxing them.
They are radically trying to fundamentally, Barack Obama, quote unquote, transform America. But
goddamn, Barack Obama did not transform America, homie. Again, scare words.
Putting new people in it, by trying to arrest the president.
Putting new people in it. I don't want to go into the history of how America started, but
By telling
pretty sure that's very American to put new people in the country.
us what kind of cars to drive, what we can say, what we can't say, putting a cap on our net worth. If I want to be a trillionaire, damn right I'll be a trillionaire.
Don't worry, your generational wealth has got you a few steps up on everybody else, but can you believe this motherfucker?
Cap on our net worth.
No, nobody's putting a cap on your net worth, but I'd like to. Let me be very clear. I think if we're going to have a minimum wage and it's going to stay stagnant for 2 decades or almost 2 decades at $7.25 federally, I think we should put a maximum wage. And I think we should tie it to CEO compensation. And whatever the CEO compensation has risen over the past 2 decades, that's how much we pay the bottom workers more. You know, I think that's just fucking decent, you know? Why should one guy, here, look at this. Why should a Walton, Nancy Walton, an heiress, she didn't make Walmart, she'll fucking work at Walmart, and if you think she's got good value Tupperware at her house, you're fucking insane. This is her yacht, okay? This is her yacht. She did nothing in life besides being born into wealth. This is her yacht that's polluting, and this is the little boat that follows it with all the peasants that serve her. That ain't a fucking joke. Just like I told you, Mark Zuckerberg's yacht has a little submarine that follows it around. So, dude, we should be able to cap these people, you know? We should be able to cap wealth. We should have a maximum wage. Because while she's sitting on this goddamn yacht, there are people working full-time at Walmart who still need benefits to survive, that are still receiving SNAP while working full-time at Walmart. That's how little she pays. That's how much she degrades our society. This is the erosion of our fucking culture, of our society, of our economy, of everything in America. And so people who avoid paying taxes, who did nothing to earn the wealth that they have a $300 million yacht, and then they have a little boat that follows it with all the peasants that serve her. You can look this shit up, just like Joe Rogan's $50 million yacht. And this is where, like, the Republicans really get me when they're like, get a job, work harder. It's like, this bitch didn't do nothing. Her daddy was something Walton, and her grandpappy was the other Walton, and they did all the work. She just opened her eyes into wealth. And this is who he's protecting? He's not protecting the people that are checking you out, that are stocking the shelves, that are making sure your Walmart opens every day. You think she fucking punched in today? You serious right now? You think the people that are working know where she's at right now? You think if she's here, Walmart ain't opening up? Give me a break. And that's what Fox News is doing. He's saying, they're trying to cap our wealth. No, bitch. We're just trying to be American. We're just trying to at least let the people who make this economy go round, own a home, have health care, fucking take a few vacations. We're not even asking for a yacht followed by a little yacht. We ain't even asking for that. We'd just like to not keep working just to not die all the time. And by the way, marginal tax rate during World War II, 94%. I talk about this all the time. 70% before Reagan, and today 37%, which for corporations it's 21%. For corporations, it's less. That's what the one big beautiful bill did. It kept that corporate tax cut at 21%, kept it fucking lower than most of your tax rates, and it made it permanent. So while they did that whole ta-da about tax, no tax on tips and overtime, that expires, but the corporate tax cut is permanent. So go on, Jesse, tell me about how this is anti-American to want to tax the people that making trillions of dollars by being born into wealth, like the Walton heirs, and that you want to be a trillionaire because, you know, he's a fucking rich kid anyways. I'm not kidding. Go look into Jesse Waters' story. They don't put anybody on to do this kind of propaganda. They got to make sure you're not fucking, you haven't experienced any life.
Our net worth. If I want to be a trillionaire, damn right I'll be a trillionaire.
You're not going to be.
Don't try to stop me.
Nobody's trying to stop you, buddy. If you think that being off Fox News is like a fucking D-list anchor is going to make you a trillionaire, I have bad news for your dreams, friend. It's not going to get you there. You got to do insider trading or rug pull crypto scams like Donald Trump did. You know? That's how you become a trillionaire. He's closely on his way there. All right, I've been avoiding this for too long. I hate Barstool Sports. I hate this fucking pansy-ass Dave fucking Portnoy. Look at him running there. If you can see this video on YouTube or Twitter, go to Twitter, watch this video of him run. I didn't think he ran like that, man. And if you think I was going to say like a girl, no, I seen girls fucking whoop some ass running. For real. He runs like, I don't know, a sloth. He runs like an Ewok, maybe. I think that's a better description. You ever seen when the Ewoks try to run? They got the little arms and they're all, you know, trying to get back up to their tree huts or whatever they live in. He runs like an Ewok. And then this is your man's man. I just want to, anybody who's ever hammered anything before, you know you don't hold it like that. Come on. You don't choke up on a hammer, dumb bitch. And I love the eye protection he's wearing too for one fucking nail. By the way, what is he doing here? He's clearly not fixing anything. It looks like he's making it worse. But yeah, this is Dave Portnoy. I can only assume down on his Nantucket mansion fucking acreage farm or whatever the fuck he lives at down in Nantucket. He brags about that. Don't worry. This isn't me, you know, showboating for him. He's going to talk about waking up in Nantucket, seeing the ocean view. Just what everyone that, you know, works for a living wants to hear. That's the guy who I want to represent me. The guy who wakes up in Nantucket looking at the ocean. But this is what this fruit in the room is talking about. Oh my God, dude. What is with these MAGA men? It's either bad foundation or they don't know how to tan. And why does he look like a goddamn Guido on the jersey? He looks like an Irish Guido. I just realized that. Holy shit. Mamma mia, luck of the Irish. Look at him. He can't decide if he wants to pander to the Guido crowd or the Irish crowd. I think he's trying to hit both, you know? It looks like he's going out for an audition at Gangs in New York. And they're like, which one? He's like, all of them. I'm the barber. I'm the fucking, I'm Monty Meatball. I'm Meatball O'Sweeney, huh? Dave Portnoy. You're such a fucking nerd, dude. Oh my God. Oh, goddamn. I wish we would, but when was the days where you'd spit on people? What was that? Were those colonial times? No, that was like pre-industrial era. Pre-industrial revolution, right? Right as the big turbines were kicking in and we were at all the sweatshops and the fucking, all the factories coming up. I think it was still polite to spit in somebody's face. I wish we were back in those days. Anyways, here's Dave Portnoy on Jesse Waters. Prime time. Portnoy takes on the commies is what it's called. This is absolutely hilarious. Portnoy taking on the invisible enemy of the peoples.
So I've always thought I would never get involved in politics.
Yeah, but then you interviewed Donald Trump and you went straight up his ass. What is that? What is he wearing, dude? My Christ. My Christ. Kind of looks like Alf. I'm not going to lie. Anybody remember that show, Alf, with the alien? Alien life form, Alf? He looks like if we were doing an IRL. You know how they did Moana and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just did, he's just Maui or whatever. I'm like, dude, if we did the TV show Alf again, he could totally play Alf. I didn't know that. That's pretty slick, Dave.
I think you can do more in the private sector. This and what is going on has actually made me pause that thought. I was saying to you, that old Plato quote, you know, if you don't do your public service and run for office, you're doomed to be run by basically dummies.
Right.
And
that old Plato quote. If you don't do your service to public office, you could be run by a bunch of dummies. Is that the Plato quote, Dave? Should have practiced before you went on TV, buddy. I love Plato. Notorious stutterer. And always called people dummies. In case you didn't hear Dave Portnoy rattling off some Plato. Like that fuck. I guess to like the Barstool sports crowd, they're like, oh shit. So that's so based. Plato was always mogging fools, calling them dummies.
If you don't do your public service and run for office, you're doomed to be run by basically dummies.
Right. Run by dummies. Dave, you should have wrote on your hand, man. You know, and been like, that old quote from Plato. Like, Dave, anything besides looking this stupid. Come on, man.
And right now, I feel like that's what's happening. Now,
and by the way, you know what he's talking about. The Democratic Socialists of America that have been winning everywhere, they're calling them commies. They fucking are scared to death because these people are going in, using the taxes in the communities for the people that they're meant to represent and be public servants for. And what you're hearing right now is these capitalist chodes that are clamoring to be like, oh, dude, what's going to happen if, like, the people, you know, don't have to go to work? If I can't hire people for subpar wages and I can't force them into thinking like this is the best you're going to do, what kind of wealth would I have? That's what you're hearing.
Oh, not everyone's getting out to vote. I think what the Democrats have done is they've let the fox into the henhouse.
Dude, what are you talking about? Democrats are fucking horrible. They're not president right now. They don't control anything. I love this hypothetical. I think what the Democrats have done, I think, you know, it's all this like, dude, you have all the power. You're friends with the president. Jesus Christ, stop crying.
Right. And now he's just running rampant and kicking them all out. Right. So it's a scary time. We need leaders to step.
Dude, it's a scary time for what? Does Dave not understand Donald Trump and the Republicans are running everything? Did he just say it's a scary time because of the Democrats? What did again, like, you're not going to get any of this because it's Fox News, but it's like, well, what's so scary about the Democrats right now, Dave? Really, please enlighten me. I would say the scariest thing about the Democrats right now is that they're like, I don't know, we don't have a backbone or a spine. What do you want us to do? You know, they're like, what do you want us to do? We can't stop. There's no checks and balances. It's Donald Trump, you know?
Is they've let the fox into the henhouse. Right. And now he's just running rampant and kicking them all out. Right. So it's a scary time. We need leaders to step up. Depending on what day you catch on me in Nantucket, when I roll out of bed, I have a nice ocean view, and it's like, why do I want to ruin my life and get involved in this mess? Because I know what comes with it.
Oh my God, Dave. What a hero to fall on the grenade for his people.
But sometimes I do feel like it's my duty. I can't turn away. I feel like I could.
Can't turn away from what? Dave, Donald Trump and the Republicans have been molding this country over the past decade, bro. Decade. Since 2016 when Donald Trump first got elected. What the fuck are you talking about? I just wish someone would be like, what has been going on lately that you don't like? Because you do know, like, the guy you voted for, that you sat down with the podcast for, the guy you wanted won. What's happening that's so horrifying? You feel like you got to get into politics right now. Is Donald Trump not going far enough?
Make a change. Maybe I do run in politics. So I don't know. It depends on the day you catch me. But
I don't know. I'm in Nantucket. I can smell the salt in the air. Depends when you catch me. Bad day. What kind of day, Dave? What kind of day? This kind of day? Where everybody's like, why the fuck you holding a hammer like that, Dave? You don't choke up on a hammer, Dave. You got to watch this video, too. It's so funny. He's like, ding, ding, ding. He's like, I've never seen a man not be able to hammer. And I'm not saying I'm a goddamn carpenter like Jesus was, but whew, doggy, I would not have filmed this one, Dave. You know, if you are the president of a site called Barstool, where you degrade women for the effeminate ways, let a real man handle it, you know. I would not have posted that video, Dave. You know, unless it was like a parody of something. But I don't know, just the way you're choking up on that. A little suspect.
Let me say this. I spend a lot of my day losing my mind on what's happening right now, especially.
How is he spent? Again, does anyone seriously, does anybody, a lot of liberals in Nantucket, oh, Charlie Kelly, you know that too. You know that there's a lot of liberals, and we do mean liberals in Nantucket. I've never been to Nantucket, but I've been to Martha's Vineyard, great place. Go to Gayhead Beach, the Clay Cliffs. What is Dave spending his day losing his mind over? Like, this is what I don't get with Stephen Miller right now, Mike Johnson, Mike Grinder Johnson, Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports. Like, they're saying stuff that doesn't make sense. I thought Donald Trump closed the border, hasn't done war. Everybody's getting tariff refunds. America's in the golden age, gilded age, great age. I thought, gas was so affordable. The groceries are no issue. Everybody's got a home. Like, you just name it, right? The Epstein Memorial Ballroom's going up. The Great State American Fair with deep fried fucking Stephen Miller hot dogs are happening. I thought everything was perfect. Why are all these people coming out of the woodwork being like, dude, we got to get active right now? Do you see what's going on? It's like, yeah, everybody sees what's going on. That's why we're complaining, man. Because this shit sucks. Healthcare is unaffordable. We can't afford food. Rent's crazy. Nobody can buy a home. So, Dave, what the fuck is going on that you didn't want? And are you saying you're running as a Democrat? You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't make sense. He's got to run for something right now because all the Republicans in charge are just making it so awesome that I just have to go against all of it.
It depends on the day you catch me, but let me say this. I spend a lot of my day losing my mind on what...
On what? On what, Dave? Donald Trump has had zero checks and balances. He's fucking doing whatever they want. Destroying the East Wing of the White House. He just did that. He didn't ask for permission. He didn't go through the permits. He didn't have the hearings. He just destroyed it. What are you upset about, Dave?
What's happening right now, especially in New York.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the Nazi in Maine. This
dude, so he's fear-mongering about people that are running. So his whole thing is like, I saw Mamdani get wages back for workers, get the streets cleaned, give people free childcare for when they got to work because they can't afford to live, put in more bathrooms. And he said, not on my watch, baby. I guess he's like the anti-fucking Batman.
This really, really, really worries me. So
You
I'm not
might
sure.
run against Mamdani.
I would love to run against... If I was going to run, it would be here. Can I win here? I have no idea.
I don't think you can run, Dave. I've seen the video. But why don't you tell us some of the good things you've done, Dave? Why don't you tell us how Barstool Sports has served the world, please?
I don't know the demographics, whether they get enough votes. There's a lot of people who like me in New York City.
Really? Really, Dave?
I know that. I've done a lot of good in New York City when I wasn't thinking about politics, whether it's the Barstool Fund, pizza places. So it wasn't for show.
Oh, wait a minute. He's done a lot of good or two goods? The Barstool Fund? I love this. I worked for a dude who had a charity, and he's like, I've done a lot of good. I'm like, dude, you do much worse when you're advocating for people to die to not have access to healthcare. So as much as you do a charity where you help a few people every few months, like, that's more of patting yourself on the back than doing a public good. You know, what Mamdani and these democratic socialists are not only advocating for, but they're trying to change the system that has been screwing people. So when you hear Dave Portnoy rattle off the lot of good he's done with the Barstool Fund, and then pizza places, I'm so sorry. If you don't know, Dave Portnoy does a segment, which I'm assuming is his claim to fame, where he tries pizza. Most likely, I'm guessing they give it to him on the house because how fucking entitled this brat is. And then he rates it. If you think that's a public good, you might be what's wrong with America. If you think Dave, the Irish Guido, Portnoy, eating pizza and rating it outside of bars at 2 a.m, which he took that sacred fucking ritual from every drunk person ever and then just capitalized on it. Because we've all stood outside of some fucking random location at 2 a.m. eating a slice of pizza, being like, this is the best thing I've ever had. Note this place down, you know? And Dave just filmed it and had rich enough parents to allow him to do that while not working a real job. If you think Dave's pizza eating is a public good and that's what you'd like to see more of our public servants do in office, I encourage you to vote for Dave. You know, if you want a politician who's just constantly filming himself eating pizza at 2 a.m. and letting you know how good it is, well, you probably can't afford to buy that pizza because, you know, it's very expensive and Dave doesn't know the cost of anything. Then yeah, you should vote for Dave.
Oh, I've had a real job. I've done real things.
What was your real job, Dave? Say it. Just say, you know. Brag about it. Be like, dude, I've worked in da 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 da. Don't say like I'm the president of Barstool Sports. Flip that bar stool down and pull up a seat, Dave. I want to talk to you.
Unlike these clown politicians who have never had a job and never been in the real world for a day.
Right.
Like Donald Trump. Like Donald Trump. Like Donald Trump.
But the people voting for these people who just won are like these young, white, like Ivy League.
Whoa, wait a minute, Dave. Did you just say white? Oh my God, is Dave prejudiced against white people? You just went young, white? Oh, Dave, that's not going to play to your Groiper crowd.
Elitish.
Elitish, yeah. The people who are begging for healthcare and affordability are so elite. Dave, keep talking, please.
The people voting for these people who just won are like these young, white, like Ivy League-ish, elitish women. It's like, who?
How the fuck did he just say Ivy League-ish? What is he like? They're Ivy League adjacent. He's like, they had to go to their safety school, but they applied to the Ivy League. They're Ivy League-ish.
Are they?
He said women, too. He said they're elite-ish and women. He's like, the problem is these white, Ivy League-ish, elite-ish people that are also women are voting. God damn. Yeah. All those people that are begging for affordability. Dave, I don't know if you want to be targeting the people who are like, hey, man, we just can't afford to go see a doctor and eat food in the same week. Like the audio I've played for you of MAGA people being like, I'm skipping a few meals because my mom needs to go to the doctor. That's a real American story. Yeah, Dave, pretty sure you're targeting the right demographic. The fucking people that are like, please don't let us die. We can't take a day off work.
Like, they'll never vote for me. They'll never believe in common sense.
Common sense, Dave, would be, you know, healthcare is a right, like everywhere else in the world. And people who, here's common sense, Dave. People who want affordability are not elite-ish. It's common sense, Dave. Talk about common sense, you'll get it, Dave. You should read some more of that Plato that you loosely quoted. This is like reverse Good Will Hunting. This is what this reminds me of. If instead of Good Will Hunting, he was like solving math equations, he was like the stupidest guy ever, and everyone around him was like, we should call him president. Yeah. And he's like, common sense. Plato said, if you're not going to do stuff for yourself, you're going to have dummies do it for you. And everybody's like, well, I've never read Plato, but it sounds pretty smart. Like, this is the fucking blind leading the blind, you know? Because you know people that work for Barstool Sports want healthcare, and they probably don't give it to them. I don't know. Does he offer healthcare? Definitely not to part-time employees. They're probably underpaid. They're probably overworked. I'm sure that happens because it's typically American. And Dave here saying, you know, these people are just stupid. They're not going to vote for me. They don't believe in common sense. They're elite-ish. Yeah, the people that are voting in New York for Mamdani to do affordable things, to give them free childcare, to get back the stolen wages from the corporations, are the elite. Dave, do you not know what elite means? It's so funny to me how Republicans are still like, the Democrats, the party of the elites. All these radical socialists are so elite. It's like, dude, we're talking about affording to live. We're talking about accessing the healthcare that humanity curated over an eon so we didn't have to die by AI denial. Those are the elite people. I would say the elites are the ones like Donald Trump, who has $6 billion that tripled in his presidency this year. You know, tripled to $6 billion. I would say the elites are the ones who can run crypto schemes. I would say the elites who wake up in their Nantucket mansion and look out into the ocean and don't have to work that day. I would say those are the elites. But what do I know, Dave? You know, I'm just one of those elitish people. He is so fucking dumb. Seriously. I hope you watch this back, Dave, and you're embarrassed. And you're embarrassed. Oh my God. I can't get over that. All right. We got to talk about... I don't know how I bring this to you every day. We got to talk about this guy. I hate to break it to you. I hate to break it to you. Portnoy is a real scumbag. Absolutely. 100%. And all the people that worship him as some kind of president. Fucking... Oh yeah, did you see this? Trump's DOJ dropped the case against Abbott Laboratories despite substantial evidence alleging they sold baby formula contaminated with deadly bacteria. Turns out they donated $500,000 to his inauguration fund. Oh, that's not a favor for a favor. These two criminals are absolutely serving the public. Come on. This is what I was talking about earlier. Supreme Court struck down limits on how much political parties can raise and spend on candidates. Everyone should be against this. You shouldn't have an infinite money glitch in politics. It eliminates their those political Muppet puppets from actually ever considering serving the public. And that's why people go into politics, to allegedly serve the public. Where is my Elon story? Oh, that's the bicycle thief thing. We already talked about that. If you missed it, Mexican Batman out there, he's taping men to lampposts. Don't be, if you're in Jalisco, do not steal a motorcycle. Mexican Batman is going to light you up. Here we go. Now, I've talked about Mackenzie Scott. This is Jeff Bezos' ex. And just so you know, the only thing she had to do is tolerate being married to Jeff Bezos for enough years to make billions of dollars in a divorce. He learned, though, and when he rented out Venice, Italy for his second marriage, which I believe they're getting divorced too, he signed an ironclad prenup. But whenever I bring up Jeff Bezos' marriages, I always say, here's to a messy divorce, Jess. Jess or Jeff? Jeff. He's a scumbag. Just look at how he treats his workers. But what's not important is that right now. What's important is this is Mackenzie. Woo, woo, woo. Look at those dimples. Looks like AC Slater. This is Mackenzie Scott, ex of Jeff Bezos. She's a billionaire. She's given away $26 billion and she's richer. She has more money and gave $26 billion away than when she started. So she gave away billions and ended up with more money. That's how much money these people have. That they can't give it away without the compounding interest in their investments and fucking whatever, making them even richer than before they gave it away. That is what we're up against. People who could just give it all away and they just get richer. With that said, Elon Musk on his website, Twitter, I'm not calling it X, said, sadly, it makes the world a worse place. You know, because when you're helping people that need money, because they've turned this American cesspool into a gate-kept, paywalled everything, that makes it worse, right? You ever been in a situation where you really needed some dough to get by, and somebody gave you money, and you're like, this just makes everything worse. What do you want me to do? Put gas in my tank and eat some food? What are you, crazy? I mean, it's just the fucking bullshit that these people come up with, and sadly, it makes stupid people believe this. That's what I would say is sad about it. So, there was an account, a friendly officer whose bio describes them as a heterosexual alpha male, which I would just say, if you have to describe yourself as that, you're probably not, you know? You're peacocking. I call peacocking when people have to put on a big display of feathers to let the world know what they are. He's peacocking. And that's if this is even a real account. It's probably based in Abu Ghraib or whatever, you know, it's just some bot. It's just a wall of machines that is like saying this shit. But Elon Musk loves these reply heterosexual alpha males. Still one of the funniest things to me today that, you know, people have to put on display. They're an alpha male. Alpha male. I'm pretty sure the alpha males don't have to remind everybody that they're alpha males all the time. Anyways, so there was a post. I didn't take a picture of it, but it was just like, hey man, Mackenzie Scott gave away 26 billion and she's richer. Look at that. You could too, billionaires. And this person said, the alpha male said, unfortunately, she's spending it making the world a worse place. Then Musk responded, sadly, yes. Musk, fresh off of losing his history-making trillionaire status. Oh, is that why he's butthurt right now? Like, bro, don't worry. You're still 100 billionaire. Yet it's comfortably the world's richest man. This is where the dystopian Armageddon really comes into play. I don't know what else to call it. Because when you have the world's richest man saying like, oh, that lady's donating to all these charities, billions of dollars, and she's donated to charities where they're like, we've never seen this amount. This is unreal. And I'm not saying anything about the donations. I'm just saying like she's trying to do something, which is better than saying it makes the world worse. And that's coming from the world's richest. Imagine having all the money. So much money that you just can't go broke. You can piss away all your money into Twitter or all your investors' money into Twitter, lose 70% of it. You can make the government support your SpaceX, XAI, Grok, Tesla, Cybertruck. You can absolutely fail miserably with the Cybertruck and create the new fucking cyber gremlin that just explodes on impact and is a fire hazard to everybody who rides in one. Imagine failing that fucking much and still having all the money in the world. He is like a goddamn dragon in The Hobbit or whatever. Wherever one of those movies where a dragon just hoards the gold, that's Elon Musk. He's hoarding all this money. It's never going to go back into circulation. It disappears when he says the wrong thing or he does his, $1 trillion fucking SpaceX IPO scams. Like, this is money that just could be better well spent. And he is commenting on somebody donating theirs. It's insane. It's insane. He said philanthropy is difficult. Yeah, to a selfish prick. I guess he gets all his value with being the richest man in the world because he certainly doesn't have a personality and he's certainly not likable. I mean, just look at this dude. Just look at him. Read a book by its cover at this point. Look at that dude. He ain't friendly. He don't care about his kids. Tesla is a failure, 100%. Are you kidding me? Fucking think Tesla is not a failure? My God, dude. Oh, you mean Tesla, the fucking company that Elon Musk promised a roadster 10 years ago, took 200,000 from 1,000 people and fucking never delivered? You're telling me the company that hasn't come out with a new model or any kind of new innovation is not a failure? Have you not seen, what is it, the BYT, the Chinese EV vehicles that they won't allow us to buy in America? Hold on. What is it called? BYD? BYT. BYD, build your dreams. My friend, if you think Tesla is a success, I want you to go look up BYD, the Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer. They're on YouTube. There are YouTubers who test these cars, and these are luxury cars for like $20,000. Electric. This is how you get some comparison to what's a failure and what's not. The Tesla is not doing anything new, trying to improve anything. They have the lock on the electric market, basically. He's in with the government where he was selling them off the front lawn. The Cybertruck was an absolute failure. And if you're going to tell me that you can see these BYD electric vehicles and the luxurious fucking state-of-the-art stuff you get with the low price and then call Tesla, which is basically a luxury EV that not everyone can afford, and you can call that a success, I would say success is offering the luxuries of, a much higher price car at an affordable rate while making it electric. But your definition of the success is much different than mine. It's kind of like Dave Portnoy's definition of elite-ish and Ivy League-ish, when he's claiming all the people who vote in New York are these Ivy League-ish, which doesn't make sense. You're either in the Ivy League or you're not, and elite people aren't begging for healthcare and affordability. So again, I guess people just get to make up whatever words fucking mean. There's a Cybertruck that drives around my neighborhood. I give it the finger every time I see it. Give it the thumbs down. That's what I try to teach people. Because when you have kids, you got to be like, just give it the thumbs down, man. I can't wait to see Elon Musk on Locked Up Abroad. Do they still make that show? Yeah, that show is cooking. I like that show. Where's the lower grocery prices? It's worse than before. Much, much worse. 100%. Good tip. Thank you, Primal. Appreciate you. What's up, Sargon? No wars. Pointing is the new middle finger. Oh, that's a good one too. Just pointing. BYD stole tech from Tesla. It started with some of Elon's factories. Oh, so if they stole tech from Tesla, then why isn't Tesla fucking implementing all of the tech that they have now? You know what I mean? Why isn't Tesla, if Tesla's so great, why aren't they making more luxurious cars more affordable so everybody could have one? This is the old Henry Ford playbook. Henry Ford was like, nobody's buying my cars. And then he realized, oh shit, I'm working people to death and they don't have time or money to buy it. But if people are allowed to have some time and money, they will get thy car. It's so simple. But no, he doesn't get you... Guys. You think Elon Musk is like, let's make a very luxurious, affordable car. Like, even your point, AJ, of like, they stole the tech from Tesla. And what? Used it? You know what I mean? Like, what? They made it better and Elon was just like, drats, they got it. I guess we just keep making the shitty same model with no improvements whatsoever. Like, guys, come on. Just use... Like Dave Portnoy said, please, just use some common sense, fellas. Just use some... Henry Ford was not. He's an absolute shitbag. You're right. 100%. Row poor go. Row poor go. If the poor fed, they have more power to fight back. Yeah. Elon had the money, that's all. Investor, yeah. The guys who made Tesla brilliant got bought out and left. That's all. That's all. You said you missed John McCain? Ugh. I don't miss any fucking politician. Oof. You miss Obama? You're just going to go through the list? You know who I miss? Taft. You don't see these fat presidents getting stuck in bathtubs anymore. I miss Guillotine. Ah, yes. President Guillotine. What time is it? Oh my goodness. What are we even doing right now? I forgot what we were talking about. I don't know how I have fucking BYD on my screen, but we're here, folks. But seriously, whoever hasn't seen, Taft was smart. I don't know much about Taft. I'm not going to pretend. I miss how JFK spoke, you know. Go listen to JFK's speeches. That man, listen, if you, here's what I miss. I miss, no, let me find yesterday's audio of Donald Trump. Give me a second. Nope. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Here's what I miss. Okay. I'm going to play. Hold on. Let's see how Donald Trump's looking. Looking good, sir. Looking good. God damn. I understand why that 34-year-old Natalie Harp is obsessed with Donald. Look at that. Look at that. You don't know where the hair parts and where it's just bald, you know? Whew. Anyways. Time for your methadone clinic checkup? Yo, to all my people on methadone, I know you can do it. You can get off of it. I don't know why people make fun of drug addicts. Like, that's like some slam dunk. You know, this is the culture we're living in. They're like, oh, man, look at all those weak Drug addicts, ha 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 ha, bottom of the barrel of society. I've been conditioned to make fun of the weakest people that I deem the weakest, you know? It's like, dude, have you ever been to any place where there's people in recovery? They're the fucking craziest, raddest people you've ever not met. You haven't met these people. And it's also a weird thing for Americans to be like, you know, still in a opioid epidemic in America, and people think chiming in, like making fun of those who are in the disease of addiction is like, I don't know, is making them cool or alpha. You should say that in front of some of my friends' moms who lost their children, you know, and see how funny you are. See if my friend's mom will let you keep your teeth. But here's what I miss. What I miss, and this is why I say I miss JFK, because I really don't. He started the whole Cuban fucking thing. But I miss how JFK spoke, because I used to listen, like, you can find him on YouTube and stuff when he talks about going to the moon, where he talks about that's not what you know, JFK had a lot of very poignant and intellectual things to say, and we have far slid down that hill. You know, like, there's no going back. After this president, I don't want another one, but we're not like, you know, people aren't going to be clamoring for fucking an unstuttering, dementia-ridden fucking president. People have been normalized and desensitized into the stupidity of this gold house, or whatever you want to call it, the Epstein house. Just listen to Donald Trump. I got to pull up some JFK too. We got to do like a back-to-back here real quick. Because if you don't think we've slid so far down the muck and mire of absolute debaucherous presidency, listen.
What are your honest elections?
What are your plans for the housing bill, Mr. President? Are you
I don't know. I think it's so unimportant by compared to the Save America Act. I think the Save America Act is exactly what it says. It's saving America from.
This is like a third grader telling you a report. I don't know. It's incomparative. Save America is exactly what it said. It's like when you're like, tell us about the report that you did on this. And they're like, well, the words kind of explain themselves, actually. Be very honest. The Great Wall of China was very great, and it was a wall in China. I think you know I've read the materials. You know what I mean? It's like, it just reminds me of, like, my kids will be like, I read something. I'll be like, all right, tell me what you read. And they're like, well, you know, I read the book that you gave me. It's clearly got a lot of words, and there are things in it that, you know, have you read it? Because if not, I'll tell you all about it. And I'm like, you ain't read shit. Get back upstairs. And this is it. This is him. This is what we have for a president. A guy who's like, you know, the Save America Act is very savvy of America. You know America. It's the place we're here right now, and it's going to save it. Well, I think I'm done for the day.
Crooked elections. And the housing bill is a bill that can get approved. They worked on it long.
He doesn't even tell you what the housing bill is. He's just like, the housing bill is one that could get approved. Bo, believe you me, it was already approved. I just didn't sign it.
And hard. It's very bipartisan. That means the Democrats like it.
This is the funniest thing when he says like a big word that he didn't know, and somebody was like, listen, bipartisan just means like both fucking Democrats and Republicans came to agree on something, which normally doesn't happen in America. And he's like, you know, bipartisan, that's when the Democrats have agreed to go along with what we've done. Not really, but you know what? You can't remember everything. You addled with dementia, man.
I think it's maybe even it's probably maybe more that way they're getting things that I wouldn't necessarily agree to.
He said it's maybe even probably maybe even more something that he won't eat or agree to. I couldn't. He trailed off there. Let's be honest. I think I caught a niner. Now let's see if we can listen to a JFK. JFK interview. Let's just do an interview, not even a speech. Interviewed by Walter Cronkite. I haven't seen this. I don't want 19 minutes though. God damn, this dude could talk.
I'm so strong for this test ban. I think that this is one of the steps which may bring about a change in China's policy, or at least some movement.
Oh, wait, that wasn't the Walter Cronkite. Sorry. Hold on. Here we go. September 2nd, 1963. I think that's 2 months before he...
Mr. President, with the Tuskegee action today and a riot in Plaquemine Parish manifestation of the strong desire of a good many responsible citizens for equal treatment. This problem has been with us for 100 years and even before, and it was going to be with us for a good many months and years to come. The Negroes are 10% of our population.
Whoa, JFK, you can't say, all right, it's the 60s, man. This is before the civil rights, and he's rattling off Negroes. God damn, show you Boston, why don't you, buddy?
Bring them into a full life in the American society with all that means is going to be a long job. And
you hear that? He's like, man, this is going to be a long job. This is going to be a journey to integrate the people that we've marginalized forever. Do you hear JFK? And that's just a random interview I clicked on. I'm not even going to do one of his speeches because compared to this absolutely riddled with dementia fucking psychotic, insane asylum patient, just there's no comparing. But we've been normalized and desensitized into accepting this as like somehow presidential for the past 10 years. That's why when Dave Portnoy's like, I gotta do something, man. Every day I wake up and everything's crazy. And I'm like, really, Dave Portnoy? Really, Dave Portnoy? Really? Dave Portnoy, the guy that helped get Donald Trump elected? Like, you're mad about what? You have everything, dude. Everything you want is in the palm of your hand right now. Like, this is everything you and Joe Rogan wanted. This fucking guy, he has dumbed down America to the just when you think we couldn't hit rock bottom, we keep digging deeper. It's like he said, drill, baby, drill. You just didn't know it was for stupid. That's what we're doing. I do want to hear a JFK speech. I love listening to... And that's the other thing. If you don't know, this moron didn't write, had a ghostwriter author a book for him called The Art of the Deal. JFK wrote a book called Profiles in Courage, where he documents people throughout history that faced this crazy adversity. I have the book. It's a great book. I read it when I was younger. I should reread it, but just to do another comparison. Like, we had presidents who were writing about the history of our country and these people who faced these great adversities. And then we have one who was like, I'm going to pay some dude to write a book to make me look real good, like I could cut a deal like no other. And then in real time, we watch this guy be like, we won the war. Iran is not doing the deal I said they should, but they're being very nice. And we won the war again, but they're not doing the deal. You know what I mean? It's like, art of what deal, dude? Art of what deal? Let's see. The peace speech. Inaugural address. Oh, this is only 2 minutes. Let's listen to this. This is JFK's inaugural address.
Jane.
Oh, no, I don't want to hear your ads. At least it's not an ad for AI. Say that shit.
In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it.
That's much different than the press is very mean to me. 90% of the stuff they say is very mean. He's like, I don't shrink from any threats. Bring that shit. And Donald Trump's like, quiet, piggy.
I do not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation. The energy.
I would JFK, just hindsight's 20/20, but I would just say, the marginalized people, the black folks who are fighting for the civil rights, they might want be a future generation. But listen, it's the 60s, man.
The faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
A lot of white people there. A lot of white people. A lot of white people. Oh, I want to hear the civil rights address. I've never heard this.
Good evening, my fellow citizens. This afternoon, following a series of threats and defiant statements, the presence of Alabama National Guardsmen was required on the University of Alabama to carry out the final and unequivocal order of the United States District Court of the Northern District of Alabama. That order called for the admission of two clearly qualified young Alabama residents who happen to have been born Negro.
Do you hear this shit? This is a president going on TV being like, I'm sending the National Guard so this racist school will let these black girls in. Like, we used to have a country where they were like, no, you're not going to keep them out because of the color of their skin. Fuck you. We're sending in the National Guard. And now you got this absolute wombat being like, we are going to send a private Epstein army onto the streets, not looking for anything besides the color of your skin. We're going to violate your constitutional rights. We're going to throw you in a prison camp with no fucking due process or anything. And some of you, we might even deport to where we think you should go. Not that you've ever been there, but we're just going to send you there. And what the fuck are you going to do? Might means right. That's bananas. You understand how far we've fallen? And goddamn, we got cell phones now. Like, you can look stuff up on Google. You can find this on the internet, man. Like, this isn't hidden. C-SPAN's got this. Civil rights address. Go figure it out, man. God, I don't even care about the presidents. I just long for the days where people had some decorum as a juxtaposed to fucking this absolute goofmonger, you know? He's like a golden back gorilla. Just, maybe, don't be mean.
I think it's so unimportant by compared to the Save America.
He's saying it's so unimportant that people can afford homes. And this president's saying, I'm sending in the National Guard if you don't let them black girls into your school. Good God, we fucking have fallen. It makes me so angry.
That they were admitted peacefully on the campus is due in good measure to the conduct of the students at the University of Alabama, who met their responsibilities in a constructive way. I hope that every American, regardless of where he lives, will stop and examine his conscience.
Dude, JFK just said, I hope that every American, no matter where he lives, will stop and examine his conscience. Donald Trump is hiding the Epstein files. There's some old dude that said Donald Trump is the best president since JFK. And now that I'm playing back to back, I'm like, dude, you maybe you got brain damage if you think that. But if you could hear JFK just saying this stuff, like, hey, all Americans, you should stop and examine your own conscience. And then you could listen to Donald Trump fucking rattle off some absolutely abhorrent shit to people, you know? Oh, come on. Where'd my thing go? Okay. Quiet, piggy. Quiet, piggy.
Everything's computer.
Everything's computer.
Smart people don't like me.
Smart people don't like me. Oh my God. This guy is fucking...
And the fact that 300 million people died last year from drugs, that's what's so...
300 million people died last year from drugs. That's another thing Donald Trump said. Yeah, there's only 350 million people in America, so I guess just everyone died last year from drugs. This is a classic.
Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember. Educated. I love the poorly educated.
Oh, he certainly loves the poorly educated. He moves on them like a bitch.
I moved on her like a bitch. I couldn't get there.
This is what I mean. It's like, dude, they worship that. They're like, he's saying what I wish I could say. And it's like, you say that shit too. Just nobody fucking thinks you're cool because you're saying it. You finally got a guy who is absolutely as grotesque inside as you are, and you're like, that's my man.
About this and other related incidents, this nation was founded by men of many nations and backgrounds.
Oh my God. Did you just hear, JFK? This nation was founded by men of many nations and backgrounds, which if you know anything about America, this shit was diverse from the kickoff, right? We had the indigenous, we had black people, and we had freed black people in certain areas of the country. We had many different fucking nations coming over here. It was truly a fucking melting pot. And Pete Hegseth and Cash Patel and Dan Vagina and all these fucking, not European looking motherfuckers are claiming like, oh, no. Our founding was by white Christian guys that all prayed to Jesus at the same time. Get over yourself. God damn. See, this is why I can't listen to this stuff, because I'm like, we used to respect some kind of intelligence. We used to have a little bit of respect for intelligence.
It was founded on the principle that all men are created equal.
Yeah, but it was also founded not really on that principle. It was all white landowning men were created equal. Gotcha, JFK. That's okay. You can't defend yourself.
And that the rights of every man are diminished when the rights of one man are threatened.
Oh shit, that's a union thing. An injury to one is an injury to all. JFK just said the rights of every man are diminished when the rights of one man are threatened. That's what we were trying to tell. I was trying to tell you what JFK was saying 60-something years ago, man. When ICE comes and kicks in your door and violates the Fourth Amendment, your rights are threatened. What do you think? It only applies to your neighbors who have a questionable fucking birth certificate? Get out of here.
Today we are committed to a worldwide struggle to promote and protect the rights of all who wish to be free. And when Americans are sent to Vietnam or West Berlin, we do not ask for whites only.
No, you just red scaring right now, JFK. You just do a little red scaring. This is why I don't like JFK.
It ought to be possible, therefore,
and then we'll go to Cuba,
for American students of any color to attend any public institution they select without having to be backed up by troops.
Yo, you hear that? Americans of any color should go to any university they select without having to be backed up by troops. So when you're watching Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro and Tim Pool and Nick Royper and Alabama Theo Vaughn, or I don't know what these people are called, when you're watching all these people and they're like, racism is over, man. It's like, you don't understand the struggle that this country recently went through against these racists to get to where we are. When they want to roll all that shit back, and they're doing it like quite similar to how it had to be pushed forward. Like they're rolling it back using force, using the military, using the National Guard, cracking down when we had to use all that stuff to push this stuff forward. Again, because two black girls wanted to go to a school that Alabama deemed should just be for whites. This is our history. This is why they don't want to teach it to you.
It ought to be possible for American consumers of any color to receive equal service.
Yeah, that's the fountain sit-ins, the pool fucking protests. God, you just wonder if people even comprehend, or if it's not willful ignorance, if it's some kind of, I don't know, man. Maybe their grandparents were there. Maybe it's just ingrained racism, Because again, the best way to divide the working class, the best way to divide the American citizens is you tell one guy he's just a little bit better than another. You can look that up. You can read Howard Zinn's A People's History of the United States, and you'll see that's what they did. When they had white indentured servants that were basically looking at, a years of servitude, the wealthy elites at the time, the Elon Musks of the time, were saying, hey man, if the black folk and these poor whites and the indigenous people all get together, they outnumber us and we're fucked. Let's give the white folks a little bit of hope and be like, hey man, you can get out of this enslavement thing if you're good. And that gave the white people just enough hope to think they were better than the enslaved blacks, and it calmed some tensions. And again, this is just history. I'm not making this up. Howard Zinn's, A People's History of the United States. Go and read it. I implore you. But really, this is what I miss. I miss presidents that would just speak with some kind of Boston cadence and intellectual decorum, as opposed to, like a goddamn golden back gorilla. Listen to this dude.
I think the Save America Act is exactly what it says. It's saving America.
Thank you, 5th grade book report. I think the Great Wall of China is exactly what it says. It's a Great Wall in China. What are you, stupid? Tell me, without telling me, you don't know what you're talking about.
In crooked elections. And the housing bill is a bill that can get approved. They worked on it long and hard. It's very bipartisan.
Again, it's just like watching a 80-year-old toddler tell you stuff. The housing bill, it is very bipartisan. Brilliant. Thank you, President. Show us the depths of your knowledge on this housing bill. Thank you. Truly, you've broken it down. I think we all very much understand what is in it now that you told us it's very bipartisan. It's like if a teacher was like, now tell us your book report. And you were like, well, the book was very long. If you like long reads, you will love this book because it was long. So long, some claim I did not read it. But we all know that's not true because I told you. The book, The Great Wall of China, is about a wall that was so great, everybody sang it, and it was in China. Thus, I've read the book, The Great Wall of China. This is what's going on with our president right now. This is buffoonery.
It's exactly what it says. It's saving America from crooked elections.
Exactly what it says.
And the housing bill is a bill that can get approved. They worked on it long and hard. It's very bipartisan. That means the Democrats like it. I think it's maybe even, it's probably maybe more that way they're getting things that I wouldn't necessarily agree to.
You can just tell us if you didn't read the bill. You can just say, I would prefer it if he was just like, dude, you think I got time to read, man? I'm tweeting all the time, bitches. I'm tweeting and calling reporters piggy. I ain't got no time for that. I got to make sure these Epstein files don't get out. I got to be telling them they're eating the cats and dogs next to your iguanas. If you have a pet bird, keep that in the cage. Like, this is the epitome of American stupidity.
Nobody knows more than housing in the history of the presidency.
Nobody knows more about housing than him. That's why he told you all about the housing bill, that it's very bipartisan.
Nobody did well like me in housing.
This is very JFK. This is very JFK. I remember when JFK was like, nobody knows more about the moon than me, and that's why we're going there. Nobody. I'm your moon guy. I'm pretty sure that's a loose quote. Just like Dave Portnoy, we heard earlier, he quoted Plato. Hold on, where's Dave Portnoy quoting Plato? Where's Dave? I need that Portnoy quoting Plato.
And now he's just running rampant and kicking them all out. So it's a scary time. We need leaders to step up. Depending on what day you catch on me in Nantucket, when I roll out of bed, I have a nice ocean view, and it's like, why do I want to ruin my life and get involved in this mess? Because I know what comes with it. But sometimes I do feel like it's my duty. I can't turn away. I feel like I could make a change. Maybe I do run in politics. So I don't know. Pause that thought. I was saying to you that old Plato quote. If you don't do your public service and run for office, you're doomed to be run by basically dummies.
Right. Run by basically dummies. That Plato quote. If you don't do your service and run for public office, you basically run by dummies with a bunch of stuttering in there. And I would just like to quote loosely JFK. Everybody knows I'm the smartest moon guy there is. I know the moon better than anyone. And I'm getting our asses there. We're going to beat Russia. We're going to the moon, bitches. Loose quote, JFK. Don't listen to a real speech. It will disappoint you. It's way above your head. I quoted it better.
In places of public accommodation, such as...
Actually, is the moon speech here? Where's the moon speech? I want the moon.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things.
Did he just say decade? What did you... Can't say that, JFK.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
My God. My God, folks. My God. I haven't read any of the comments. Oh, Cully, good to see you again. Define communism for us. These people can't. Don't. It's a trigger word. They use it as like a scare tactic. You want the communists to win? What are you talking about? Plato quote? Yeah, it was a Plato. Flow state. Ooh, thank you for that. I love flow state. Fear mongering. It is wild, especially since it's illegal to be a communist in America. Don't read my comments, Rob. They're really bad. All right, I won't. We didn't choose to go to the moon because it was easy. We chose to go to the moon because I'm your moon guy. Buy my JFK moon merch right now. Crypto tokens on sale, limited edition. Get my moon sneakers. Imagine that. Imagine if JFK was like this grifter. And he's like, we're going to the moon. Get your JFK signature moon boots right now. That's what's going on right now. You know, JFK was like, get my authentically branded moon watch. And then you can buy my moon Bible and my moon guitar. And somehow people like, Trump's a smart businessman. It's like, dude, he's grifting the shit out of this country. Why go to the moon? Hold on. What is this? What is this shit? I want to hear this.
Without feeding the fires of war, without repeating the mistakes that man has made in extending his writ around this globe of ours, there is no strife, no prejudice, no national conflict in outer space as yet. Its hazards are hostile to us all. Its conquest deserves the best of all mankind. And its opportunity...
You know, JFK spoke eloquently so Donald Trump could stutter with his dementia and create Space Force, or whatever he did.
...for peaceful cooperation may never come again. But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal?
Because we're going to steal it. Like, that would be JFK if behind him was like, you know, all these corporate fucking oligarchs and all these private equity venture capitalists. They're like, tell them why we're going to the moon. We're making a space colony for free labor because there's no workers' rights there.
And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Man. That is so different than the temperament of politicians right now. They're all like rabid Rottweilers, you know, just foaming at the mouth to insult somebody like it was a goddamn TikTok edit.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win, and the others too.
If JFK could only know that we were going to outsource to private companies and totally fund them with their tax money to allegedly go to the moon, Mars, none of that shit's happening. You know, if he could only see it now, he'd probably be happy at what happened.
It is for these reasons that I regard the decision last year to shift our efforts in space from low to high gear.
God damn, everybody in the crowd looks like Mr. Rogers. They're all dressed exactly the same without a sweater. That's crazy, man. Did you all see the healthy foods being served up at Trump's failed state fair? Maha, anyone with your traditional fair food? I saw one booth with like, it looked like fake. It looked like the fruits and vegetables you see when you go to the library and kids are playing, you know, vendor. They're playing farmer's market. Whatever mankind must undertake, free men must fully share. JFK. Ooh, I haven't heard that quote. That's a good one. May 25th, 1961, address to a joint session of Congress. I'll get that for tomorrow. Hold on. May 25th, 1961. JFK address to Congress. See, I love digging into a little history. Oh, on space exploration. Is that the one?
Space is open to us now, and our eagerness to...
If that was today, it'd be like, space is open to us now, and Jeff Bezos gonna mine it for some absolutely rare lithium. We're gonna get him there, and he's gonna privatize the profits. Thank you very much. I'll have to find it, because there's a few of them. There's one that's 45 minutes. But I will look for that, because I used to like listen to JFK just for fun all the time. I don't know why I admitted that. We choose to fuck up this pool, not because it's easy, but because we are stupid. And then we're going to blame someone for it. Yeah, skip that one for now. I will. yeah, I'll find it. I'll dig through the 45 minutes. All right, guys. I think that's it for today. Looking good, sir. Looking good. Looking good. Remember when he saluted the North Korean generals and they took a photo of it? How embarrassing. How embarrassing. Free Palestine, save Cuba from starvation. We must work together. Yeah, man. It kills me what's going on in Cuba. Ugh. Like, it's again, the common sense of like, oh, if Cuba's a failed state, why is America strangling it? You know? People can't even grasp at the hypocrisy. Sorion, I was gazing at the stars the other day. The amount of satellites is fucked up. You can't even see a UFO anymore. Yeah. People don't even acknowledge what we're doing to Cuba. I know. But, you know, we acknowledge it here. Hopefully you acknowledge it in your daily life. Hopefully we keep dispelling the Daily Wire-esque lies. The Daily Wire-ish, like Dave Portnoy said. The elite-ish people. You know, it's, yeah, pro-life, but Cuba. So hopefully, you know, people will continue to acknowledge these things and educate people. And that's why I ask you to hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, join me every day. Make sure you turn notifications to all, because I will acknowledge it and I'll keep acknowledging it, and I'll keep turning people on to books that you could read about it, or information that is not disseminated through these billionaire funded mouthpieces on the internets. If we wanted Cuban people to do well, one would think we wouldn't try to strangle the life out of them. 100%. Alabama anarchist. The real speech to look at is The President and the Press. 61. Ooh, okay. Oh, damn. JR is turning us on to some stuff. And feel free. You can look this stuff up yourself too, man. That's why I say some of right now is so just bewildering to me. Because while we have the world at our fingertips, while we have access to the history of long before, and we can see in real time some of these things. You know, you can listen to Fidel Castro's speeches, you can listen to Che Guevara's interviews, you can, you know, see it and hear it for yourself, just like JFK. People ignore that and then are fed the bullshit like Michael Knowles, who I played for you at the beginning of this live stream. Michael Knowles was debating a 10-year-old girl on stage at the state fair that Donald Trump's capitalizing and grifting everybody on. And Michael Knowles said, my problem with the Salem witch trials was it was unorganized and they were just burning women. And I'm like, they were hung. No one was burned at the Salem witch trials. If you're on the Daily Wire and you do a daily news show, it's just like Tim Pool. When Tim Pool got outed for taking Russian money and he was like, I'm the victim here. I'm like, dude, if you're still listening to a guy who says, I took a lot of Russian money and I'm the victim, and doesn't like offer to like have any introspection, any kind of spections on like, why would Russia want to give me that much money? What am I saying that aligns with Russian beliefs so hard? You know, nothing. And just goes, move on and keep listening to me. Just like Michael Knowles. Like, if you're going to him for fucking insights and he's telling you the Salem witch trials issue he has is they were burning women, it's like, bro, that didn't ever happen. Not once. If you're thinking about English witch trials, a whole different story. But the Salem one, well documented. But that 10-year-old could have smoked you. But again, this is like the right-wing griftosphere. They went from going to college campuses to bringing 10-year-olds up on stage and thinking they're dunking on them. And anybody with 2 fucking cents or a middle school education in America should know better than that. I heard really good things about John McCain, but I never really read up on him before. Sad that schools don't teach us anything about this stuff. I'm only recently learning about the Black Panther group. Keep studying the Black Panthers. Looking at Fred Hampton. Go read Revolutionary Suicide by Huey P. Newton. You can read Afeni Shakur's book. Afeni was part of the Panther 21. She was locked up on false charges from a Fed infiltrating them while she was pregnant with Tupac. These stories are absolutely inspiring. Keep learning. All the comedians going to the Saudis, yeah. Good stream today. Enjoy the rest of your day, Rob. Thank you, JR. Appreciate all the insights. I appreciate everybody in the comments, even the people hate watching. I love you. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to say you deserve a better life, access to healthcare, housing, affordable food, affordable healthy food, no more glyphosate your stuff, and you shouldn't have to be flipping the bill for this absolute fraud. So whether you hate me or not, I'm still fighting for the same things. I don't, you know, I'm not like, oh, this person was cucked into a cult, so he doesn't deserve healthcare. No, I don't think anyone should have to crowdfund to go to the dentist or call an Uber instead of an ambulance. That is just my take, you know? So, and please hit the like button and just subscribe, you know, keep joining me. Let's get this channel big. Is it raining? Oh shit, it is. Oh my God, it's pouring. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I do like when John McCain, that lady was talking. She said, Obama's a Muslim. And McCain was like, no, he's not. You know, I like that. Like, I like people standing up for the truth, man. I appreciate that. I don't know much about John McCain. He wasn't a dude on my radar. I didn't vote for him. But I respect somebody who will just stomp out those lies that catch like wildfire right away. I appreciate that because it protects the integrity of the country. And then you have grifters like this who are just like spreading them, you know, they're eating the cats and dogs, whatever it is. You know, I never knew, I didn't write Jeffrey Epstein a birthday card, and then that lawsuit disappeared where he was suing Rupert Murdoch for $10 billion and the birthday card came out, you know. One of the best platforms I've come across. What's the platform that you like? Did I miss your other comment? What's the platform? It's cheaper to fly to China for a root canal. You know what the craziest thing, Sargon? When I lived on the border of Mexico, If people needed to see a dentist, a doctor, get prescription drugs, they crossed the border into Mexico. It was cheaper and you got the same quality. Catching rain is illegal there? That's fucking nuts. Yeah, probably because they don't want you to see all the microplastics and carcinogens in it. Your platform. Oh, TJ Polishing. Oh, you meant like my channel. Thank you. I thought you meant like one of the platforms like TikTok, YouTube. I've heard YouTube is the hardest to grow on. And I want to start multi-streaming on Twitch. So if you're on Twitch, I think I'm Rev Rob Hood on Twitch. I think I found my name the other day. My friend went to Mexico for his years. Yeah, a lot of people. Try Kick. I don't want to be a part of Kick. That's where the looks maxing, racist, just garbage crowd is. I really got an issue with the people that just keep selling gambling to the people, and or Kick pays too. Yeah, but there's just some stuff where I just really struggle to cohabitate with certain neighbors, and Kick is one of those that every story I hear about the people on Kick, I'm like, it's kind of gross, man. I'm too old, I'd rather do it this way, which might be harder, it might be tougher, but I'd rather do it like this than try to, dive into the slop of the internet like Kick. But I appreciate that. The British go to Turkey for their teeth and hair plugs. Hey, the Americans go to Turkey too. Don't forget. Hold on. Do not forget. This dude doesn't have hair like that, okay? That is the finest Turkish hair you can buy. That's not real hair, Just like that's not really running, Dave Portnoy. My God, you little chubby. You little chubbo. Adorable. He's so adorable. He's such an adorable alpha boy. Or whatever. Oh my God, it's BUNKBED COFFIN. Oh my God. That is BUNKBED COFFIN. He's in the chat. Hey, bro, I love what you do, man. I love what you do, man. You inspire me. I'm so grateful for you. He made a return. He is alive, folks. Smoking Blondie makes music too. BUNKBED COFFIN makes music for my soul. Congrats, by the way, BUNKBED COFFIN. I saw a post where beautiful things are happening in your life. But if you get a chance and you like 90s grunge, this is the new wave grunge. It's a new grunge for 2026. Please go check out BUNKBED COFFIN. Very honored to have him. BUNKBED COFFIN is right there in the chat. He's a musician. Very, very talented. And I used to play music on here, but something happened to my YouTube. And once I was trying to play music and people be like, it's cutting out. So hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Hopefully we can get a real setup and do this professionally so I can just play the music for you. Because I used to play BUNKBED, I used to play Smoking Blondie. I used to try to introduce you to new stuff. They're still all linked. Oh, that's the other thing. Smoking Blondie, Us First Them, and BUNKBED COFFIN are linked in my description. I always keep them linked so you can go find them easily. But once people were saying like, I can't hear anything, I didn't want to mess with it. BUNKBED and Rob collab soon. I would listen. I don't know if BUNKBED is still here, but BUNKBED, if my channel gets big enough and I can do a little studio, I would be honored if you come in live, or we could even do it virtual. We could do it where you do it live from your place, and you could play us in, you could play a break, and you could play us out, and we just have a featured musician. That's one of my dreams. I would absolutely fucking love that. Get BUNKBED set up, have them play a whole set. I think that would be amazing. With your help, we can make that would be an honor, man. That's cool you're still here, because that's the dream, BUNKBED. I'm praying. I gotta go viral or something. I gotta figure out how to make this channel bigger. And as soon as that happens, as soon as I get into a studio, that's what I want to do. I want to reach out to a bunch of musicians that I love and say, hey, listen, this is my, my goal. I know my message can be a little blunt and in your face. You know, I do not sit on the fence. I'm very for the people. I'm very much for anybody being oppressed or can't speak out or just against the tyranny. And as long as you're cool with that, I would love for you to play some sets for us. You know, I think that'd be dope. 100K subs and Boss Rob flies me in for a collab. 100%. Well, that's the whole that's what I would love about YouTube. You get to showcase so many fantastic people throughout the world. Or never mind me fly you out. You don't want to come to America, Sardion. How about I go to you and we go into, what is it? Not the daffodils. What were the flowers in Amsterdam? The tulips. We do a live stream from a tulip field. And we'll bring Bunkbed Coffin to play some acoustic guitar. How fucking sick would that be? You know? That would be absolutely amazing. I'll wear the goddamn wooden shoes and everything. The tulips. That's it. Yup. Don't excuse from being from Boston, assholes. Skyjack will also fly you in 100K subs. I'm flying me the fuck out of here at 100K subs. I want to fucking tiptoe through the tulips with you. All right? I got plans, baby, but I can't do it without you guys, and I'm very grateful for you guys, and I'm very grateful for your support and your love and all of that. And smoke some tulips. Oh, you've been believing that shit. Tulip Field grunge song is sick. that would be a dream. So listen to Bunkbed Coffin play They Hung Him on a Cross, Something in the Way, or Lithium, laying down in a tulip field, and we just get a tripod, and me and Sardion be laying back like this, looking up the clouds, tulips all around us. We got a camera on bunk bed, just out there, just acoustic. Fuck, man, that would be so amazing. That's the dream. That's the dream. So that's the deal. Me and Bunkbed fly out to see Sardion. We play a set. And do a whole live stream from out there. That'd be incredible. All right, guys. Enough of me daydreaming. Now we're going to make it happen. Much love. Thank you, Bunky, for stopping in. Smoking Blondie, Cully, Sarion, Primal, everybody. I can't list all the names. But I'm very grateful for you guys. Thank you. Much love. Peace.